After 3 months, a week-long playoff sprint, and one lengthy rain delay, it all comes down to this. Class 3A has been whittled down from 64 teams to just 2, and a champion will be crowned here in Lawrence today. Hello, everyone, and welcome inside the broadcast booth here at Rock Chalk Park in Lawrence, Kansas. I'm Tyler Henry, joined by Devin Haney, and we're so glad you've decided to join us for the season finale of Class 3A softball. In the purple corner, the southeast of Saline Lady Trojans on a generational 3 run differential and arguably the best all of Class 3A, but they've never won a state title. Will today be that day? In the maroon corner, a team that's no stranger to state titles, having won 13 of them in their 36-year history, it's the Silver Lake Lady Eagles, and a squad that's hungry to return to 3A's top step after coming up short in back-to-back finals against Frontenac. 64 teams began a journey to be crowned queens of Class 3A, but only one can ascend to the top step, and today we will crown that winner here in Lawrence. It's southeast of Saline and Silver Lake, and you're watching this state championship game free of charge right here on Salina Post. Coming up next, we'll chat with Lady Trojan head coach Tyler Smith to get his thoughts on today's game and the season as a whole. Coverage of this 3A state championship game is brought to you by Bennington State Bank and by Dr. Andrew Westbrook at Maury Sports Medicine Clinic.
At Maury Clinic Sports Medicine, we are available when you need us most. I'm Dr. Andrew Westbrook, and I am the sports medicine physician at Maury Clinic. I see patients of all ages and help them come back stronger than ever. From broken bones to joint pain, my team and I are committed to help you do more. For those with sports injuries, come see us at our sports medicine walk-in clinic Monday and Thursday mornings from 8 to 9 a.m. Prevent, recover, and strengthen so you can perform your best. Maury Clinic Sports Medicine. Make your move with confidence.
The Bennington State Bank proudly supports local sports and wants each student to know that their hard work and talent is noticed and appreciated. At Bennington State Bank, they care about local communities and are committed to fostering long-term relationships through the delivery of excellent customer service, integrity, and fairness. From helping local businesses to supporting community youth and nonprofits to helping you purchase your dream home or invest in your future, Bennington State Bank is here to help. Give them a call to experience exceptional banking.
But that's the one thing we always preach is you don't have to be your best. Like, that's why we're a team. Somebody's always going to pick us up. Someone's always going to, take care of it if we have a mistake. And by golly, that's what happened yesterday. Or, sorry, in the semi. I don't know when. Obviously, this is airing a couple days.
Sure. Well, and you take a look at, again, you go back and look at that game, and you're right. I mean, I don't think you guys played your best, but you still find a way to get the win. What was the best thing that you saw from your team in that 2-1 win over Jefferson West?
Just that they didn't drop their heads. I was talking to somebody else about this. With our record, we only have one loss, and I think sometimes you think that means you just cruise through your season. You just had, you didn't have any tests, but we had a lot of 1, 2, 3 run games, or we had to kind of put things together. What I was most impressed with, though, was just the fact that nobody ever panicked. Like, there was never this moment in the dugout where people were down or people were dead. It was literally just like we just knew somebody was going to step up. You knew that somebody was going to give ourselves an opportunity, and then all of a sudden it happened, and you just it didn't surprise anyone. Like, that was the outcome that everybody in our dugout expected. We didn't know who was going to be the one to do it. We didn't know if it was going to be, we're in the lineup 1 through 9 that was going to come through. But, it seemingly always happens from somebody. And it was Annabelle Soul that, that made it happen.
Well, and speaking of
tied it up, and it was, there's a lot going. Yeah, Annabelle that ties it up, and then, you have Kaya. Just with Reese coming around second, creating the havoc that we talk about all the time. It's just stuff like that happens well for us.
Well, and speaking of the lineup, I mean, all of your base runners come from the top 4, maybe top 5 spots in the order. But, how great is it to have the weapon of you've got Reese leading things off. You've got Kaya Samuelson who's batting .750 here in the postseason. And then you've got the back-to-back punch of Riley Donnelly and Annabelle Soul. And it just feels like anytime you send those 4 to bat in succession, you've got a great chance to score at least one run, right?
Yeah, you do. And, talking about going off script where I went off, we had runners in second, third to start the game yesterday and no outs. And usually our script says we're going to bunt Annabelle, we're going to bunt Riley. And for some reason, I did not. And I told the girls that was on me. Like, we blew a huge opportunity because of my coaching. Because normally we'd bunt, we tried to do a little bunt game with them, but all of a sudden they got themselves in some favorable counts, and Annabelle had a favorable count, and all of a sudden just misses a ball, pops up to the infield. Riley had a favorable count, pops up to the infield. But that's on me. Like, I went off script, and I think in a way, when I told him that, I was like, listen, I've already messed this thing up. Like, you guys cannot mess this up. I just threw away 2 runs that normally we score when we stick to the script. But that's also what makes Annabelle and Riley, I think, so valuable. Is yes, they're your 3 and your 4, but it's just how they can place the ball. Like, they're very good bunters, and that's why they are in that 3 and 4 spot, because you're going to get Reese and Kaya on a lot. And then, if they can do their job, it's usually Welchel that comes in. And, Welchel's fantastic with the bat. She swings the heck out of the stick. She has probably the best gap-to-gap power on the team. Bunting's not necessarily her strength, but she can, put the ball, foul pole to foul pole. And, so that's been the strength of this equation is, the top 2 get on, 3 and 4 will do a bunt job, do something to move them, and then Ash comes in and moves them around.
Well, and we've got to give Kaya Samuelson her flowers, because I know she got off to, maybe not the start that she anticipated, but you look at what she's done in the postseason. You brought the stat up to me. She's batting .750. That's not bad. And then she throws out what could have been a game-tying run that could have extended the game yesterday. It feels like Kaya, she's been great all year. She's been great throughout her career, but boy, it really does feel like she saved her best for last year in her sophomore season.
Always. She really has. Anyway, we joke about this all the time as coaches. Like, she's honestly better against better teams, and not saying like she gets more geared up. She is just better against better pitching. She struggles. Like, she struggles against lesser pitching, and not because it's her focus, not because it's anything. It's just she just attacks good pitching, and I don't know any other way of putting it. And she hit a massive slump, and when I say massive slump, it was 3 or 4 doubleheaders against lesser opponents where other players are just thriving and having days. Kaya's pulling, collars for the day. She's going 0 for 6, and a doubleheader against a team where everybody else is just smashing the ball. And one of those slumps where it wasn't like she's not striking out. She's just hitting the ball extremely hard at people, and they're making plays. And it's people that normally don't make these types of plays. So, when we say that she slumped, she went through a drastic slump. However, it wasn't her playing bad. She was still spraying the ball all over the place. It was just people making plays that they normally don't make. And it was pretty rough for a little bit, but it is nice to see her, in the postseason when it matters a little bit more, just really come alive and be the guy and be the type of player that you continue to fight during your slumps. This is what happens, if you fight through it.
Well, in Southeast softball, you guys have been dictated this year by elite speed, elite defense, and elite pitching, and that's something that we didn't really talk too much about before the Jefferson West game. But let's take a moment and just talk about Carly Zerflu. She's going to be making her 19th appearance of the year. In 108, giving up 6 earned runs. That's a 0.39 ERA, a 0.77 WHIP. Her numbers have been very impressive, but to me the most impressive thing is just the batting average against. Opponents are only hitting 144 off of her. It feels like she's kind of fought herself a couple of times during this postseason, but she always finds a way to buckle down and get it done. You expect more of that, I'm assuming, here on Friday.
Yeah, let's just say what it is. Like, Carly's arguably the most valuable player in the state of Kansas. She changed the way we play defense. She changes the way we play offense. We know defensively if teams are in a bunt situation or a position to score a run, we don't have to take that run away. We understand if they get a run, it's going to be fine. Like, there's times you'll see a first and second situation, maybe in a first inning, teams defensively will try so hard to throw that lead out runner, at third on a bunt. Well, we don't have to. We stress the girls take the outs at 1. Like, Carly's been an eraser for us. If somebody makes a mistake or somebody does something, Carly will just make up for it. You have to work so much harder if you're an opponent offensively, because it's going to be difficult to push some runs across. I think you saw that from Jeff West. They sent a couple runners home that you just, when you're watching the game, you're just thinking, I don't know why they're going, but I know why they're going, because it's tough to score against us. Because defensively we do the right thing, and Carly gives us a great shot. And, from an offensive standpoint, we've kind of taken that approach. We play for one, and then we'll have some fun. And we know if we can just push one run across here, one run across there, maybe pop a few more. You give Carly that, that confidence of a couple runs. She's extremely tough. And you're right. She does fight herself a little bit. Like, she expects perfection from herself. And, that's not a bad trait to have if you want to be excellent. And she's starting to get up near that excellent, that she's getting up there, and she is difficult on herself, but she works extremely hard. She knows how important her defense is. She's always praising them. Sometimes she's getting on them a little bit in a good way. She's good with constructive criticism. But, yeah, she has been just an absolute stallion this spring.
Well, and you guys have lived by the mantra all postseason long, give us the smoke. Well, you got it. You get Silver Lake here in the state championship game. I know you're familiar with these numbers, but 29 state appearances in 36 years, 13 state titles, including 4 in the last 12 years. When you watch this version of Silver Lake on tape, when you watch them live, you look at the numbers, what are the things that stand out to you about Silver Lake?
They're better than they were last year. We played them last year, and I thought they were the best high school softball team that we saw as a team last year. Walked away. I was super impressed just with how Coach Nick Hamilton handled the entire program. We saw him in that regional championship game, and I walked away and kind of dove more into what they do. And then you see them this year, and I saw they had some seniors graduate last year, and I'm thinking, fantastic. Silver Lake will be down. We won't have to worry about them. And you just see that they just reload, and they swing the bat so well. They're just so disciplined. Like, everything they do has a purpose. There's never anything they're just, kind of freelancing on or doing their own thing. Like, everything has a purpose, which kind of our stuff has a purpose as well. But we'll freelance a little bit. Like, we'll get a little bit off script. But everything is just so crisp and clean from them. Like, you're going to have to play. You're going to have to play extremely hard. You're going to have to play, I don't want to say mistake-free, because you can make mistakes because, we don't ask our players to play perfect games. You just have to stay up and make sure someone's picking you up if you make a mistake. You have to play emotionally, just up and make sure you're all helping each other out to compete with a team like this.
You go back and look at your first 2 wins at state. It felt like the bottom of the lineup did a lot of the producing in the game against Lakin. Obviously, the top of the lineup did all of the producing against Jefferson West. How do you put together kind of all the bats working together on the same day tomorrow, or I guess today, here against Silver Lake?
You just know they will. Because that's what they do. There's nothing you change. You get to this point of the season, we're not – when we took batting practice, with the weather yesterday, we hit inside. We're not coaching them. We're giving them balls. We're telling them good. It's just all about good. It's positive vibes. The last thing they need to be taking in the batter's box when they're facing, one of the state's best pitchers in the state championship game is any thoughts. They just need to go up, see ball, hit ball, understand their job, understand the situation that the game gives them, and then go to work. And, I just have a strong feeling that there's going to be a unit, whether it's the top, middle, or bottom, there's going to be a unit that puts it together tomorrow and or today. Sorry, these days, this is tough. And, it's going to be one of those units, and you know what? It might be all 9. But, one way or another, it's just going to be a blast. So I told them, whenever you're getting ready to go play your last game, it's going to be a blast. I told them to walk into that, walk in the state championship game like they're the 1 seed, because they've earned that. You're playing these, the top 2 teams in the state of Kansas, I truly believe, are playing for a state championship game, and that's all you can ask for.
Well, and going into this game, normally you get to the playoffs and you're playing to live to fight another day. You're playing for tomorrow, win or lose. This is the last game. There's got to be a little bit of pressure off there. But, as the guy who's seen this team get to this point, as the coach of these girls for the last 2 years, what are you personally most excited about for this state championship game?
Watching them in the environment, just being their fan. We, again, game days, I feel like I just tell them before every game, I'm just your biggest fan on game days. That's my only job. We coach at practice. We do that. You guys know how to do all the things we ask you to do. I'll tell you, honestly, the looks that I was getting from Reese and Kaya yesterday when I didn't have Annabelle or Riley Funds, they weren't good looks because they knew I was going off script. We kind of had that discussion. I was like, if you guys see that again, you tell me, hey, script, stick to it. They know what they're doing. Game days, I'm the biggest fan they have. And I just am lucky enough to be in the third base box. I'm lucky enough to be in the dugout with them. I can't wait to watch them have the opportunity to play for a state championship game.
Well, and last thing for you here, Coach, it's the $1 million question. But at the end of the day, what is it going to take for your Southeast of Saline Lady Trojans to bring home the first ever state title softball-wise in school history?
Having fun. Understanding the game's 7 innings. When you play a team like Silver Lake, you have to understand, obviously we strive this, every team strives it. You just say that you got to win every inning it's going to be tough to win every inning, but you just got to make sure you're fighting every single inning, and you have to enjoy yourself. You can't the moment, like we said, the hay's in the barn, go out, play, have fun. It's the exact same thing you were doing when you were 8U at Bill Burke, when you were playing YMCA ball, before that. Just go have fun, play the game. You have a great opportunity, and no matter what, we're smiling and we're having fun because we know that we gave it our all and we had a blast while we were out there.
We can't wait to see it. Coach Smith, thank you so much for your time. Best of luck to your Lady Trojans here today.
Hey, thank you for everything, to Salina Post, and go Trojans.
Once again, that was head coach Tyler Smith. His Lady Trojans playing for a first ever state softball championship, and it comes your way next here on the Salina Post Sports Network. Don't forget coverage of the state tournament presented today by Dr. Andrew Westbrook at Maury Sports Clinic and the Bennington State Bank. We'll be back in a bit. Pre-game in the books. State championship game coming your way next here on the Salina Post Sports Network.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you, so why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
For a free personal protection review, contact Shelter Agent Cale Sharp in Salina.
Take the next step in your career with an MBA from Kansas Wesleyan and the Saline County MBA. Valid for anyone living or working in Saline County and is good for $100 off per MBA credit hour, lowering the total cost for tuition to under $12,000. Don't wait. Learn more today at kwu.edu/MBA. That's kwu.edu/MBA.
The hours of drills, the pre-dawn workouts, the hundreds of laps. It takes hard work, passion, and drive to do what you love. When you're sidelined by injury, Salina Regional Sports Medicine is just as committed and works just as hard to get you back in the game. Salina Regional Sports Medicine, 785-452-7366. SalinaRegionalSportsMedicine.com.
Hello, everyone, and welcome in here at Rock Chalk Park in Lawrence, Kansas. Tyler Henry joined here by Devin Haney. 64 teams started the journey to be here today. We have made it to the final two. And, Devin, we're going to crown us a champ here in Lawrence. This is going to be a blast. I mean, two of the best teams in the state of Kansas. I would argue almost a contrast in styles between these two. And it all starts right here. 7 innings to determine who comes out on top in Class 3A. Buckle in. Whatever you got to do, this is going to be a good time.
There's two immediate things that you look at when you see this game, Tyler. One is, of course, the weather. We'll touch on that. It keeps trending, keeps changing. Things are getting better, and also the revenge factor of these two teams from a year ago.
In the circle, Carly Zerflew, and this 3A state championship game is underway as the first pitch misses just off the plate outside. Let's meet the starting lineup for the Silver Lake Lady Eagles. They're the 3 seed. They come in at 27-4, fresh off back-to-back losses in the state title game. They're trying to avoid the hat trick here today, and for them it all starts with superstar Kaylin Haney, the center fielder. She stands in the box now. She'll be followed in the order by shortstop Sailor Liggett, left fielder Savannah Wendy, and catcher Taylor Zweigert in the cleanup spot today. Batting fifth, it's the first baseman Paige Hyman, and starting pitcher Riley Moeller, third baseman McKenna Harris, second baseman Audrey Kirk, and DP Mariah Cortan in the DP spot today. Your flex is Peyton May. She will play out in right field. 1-2 the count, swing and a miss, strike 3, and Carly Zerflew starts the day on a high note as she strikes out Kaylin Haney. Haney came into this postseason batting 9 of 12 throughout the playoffs. She had been an absolute monster. That is a huge out for Southeast of Saline to get. Sailor Liggett digs in now. And as the first pitch comes in, that'll miss inside. Let's go ahead and meet the starting pitcher for Southeast of Saline. Carly Zerflew, a junior, making her 19th start of the season. She has 108 innings pitched and a perfect 18-0 record. And that's just the start for Zerflew, whose 1-0 delivery is smashed into right field. That gets down for a base hit. Boy, throw to first. They tried to get her, but not going to get the speedy Sailor Liggett down the line. And she is in with a 1-out single. This season, Zerflew a 0.39 ERA, a 0.77 whip, 149 strikeouts to just 30 walks. Opponents bat 144 off of Carly Zerflew. But this is not your average lineup, and it continues to stay hot as Savannah Wendy is in here. The first pitch off speed up. Devin, this team has been great all year in Silver Lake, and they've only gotten better as the postseason has gone on.
You talk about this year, last year, previous years, last 25 years. Silver Lake is just a community, and they have programs that they have tradition of winning no matter what they do, and this softball team definitely one of those.
1-0 pitch gets Savannah Wendy, so a single and now a hit batter. And just like that, 2 runners aboard here for Silver Lake. And, boy, they have made it look easy throughout the postseason. A 6-0 win over Holton, a 6-0 win over Perry-Lecompton, and then a 12-2 win over Hiawatha. That was their regional run. You get to state, you think maybe things get a little more challenging. They beat Colby 10-0 and Haven 12-6. No one has posed a true challenge to Silver Lake yet this postseason. Taylor Zweigert digs in, the cleanup hitter, with an excellent chance to get Silver Lake on the board. You look at the numbers for Zweigert this year, the senior batting .402, slugging .716. She is second on the team with 41 hits so far this season. Zerflew digs in from the circle. She will deliver home the 0-1 pitch, and that one misses high. The count goes 2-1-1. Let's take you around the horn defensively for southeast of Saline. Riley Donnelly behind the dish. It's Hannah Teal over at first. Veda Durfee at second. Kaya Samuelson at short. And Ashley Welchel at third. The outfield from left to right. It's Madeline McFadden, Kaya Samuelson, and Annabelle Soul. 1-1 offering. Misses up and away. And you feel like we've seen this multiple times throughout the playoffs. If Carly Zerflew can just settle in, she'll be fine. But she needs to record those first couple of outs and get out of that first inning unscathed.
How many times in this postseason has she started out bases loaded, 2 runners on? It seems like it's almost a settling in for her to get comfortable letting early runners on.
Well, they've gotten on here for Silver Lake. The problem is this is a Lady Eagle team that very often brings them in, and they're trying to do that here with only 1 down and their cleanup hitter at the plate. Taylor Zweigert this postseason is 4 for 18, but you know she's got great pop in that bat. 3-1 pitch is lifted up out to right field. Annabelle Soul tracking it in, makes the catch. And that's an important out as nobody advances on the base paths. And now you've got a chance, if you're Zerflew, to settle in, get Paige Hyman, and get those Lady Trojan bats up to bat.
Annabelle Soul might have been the best defensive player, the most important defensive player early on in this game. She nearly got Kaylin Haney, or excuse me, it wasn't Kaylin Haney. He was actually the number 2 hole hitter for Silver Lake. Threw her out from right field. That time it was a big pop fly. This guy is very, very kind of whitish gray right now over the Orocha Ballpark here on the campus of Rock Chalk Park. And I tell you what, that was a big out for southeast of Saline, now sitting with 2 outs.
Nasty off speed to start things off. Zerflew, not the hardest throwing pitcher you'll see at state, as she does come home with the fastball there, but she mixes speeds. She's in command of her location, and when her stuff moves, it moves. Wicked off speed. We'll see a lot of that between both pitchers today. 0-2 the count on Paige Hyman. Batting from the 5 hole, she's been excellent this year. Zerflew brings home the 0-2. It's off speed, it's popped up, and it'll find its way into the crowd. A good crowd on hand here. Devin, glad we can get these games in. You mentioned the weather. Of course, this game's supposed to be played yesterday, but due to inclement weather at the time, it's been pushed here to today at 11 o'clock.
And the ironic thing about Kansas weather, if they would have scheduled them and had them yesterday, everything was fine. It cleared off. Everything was good. Could have got them in yesterday, but here we are today on a great day, Saturday for softball.
Runner goes to third. The throw down was all right, but Welchel wasn't in the right position. And that was a very delayed steal for Sailor Liggett. Now you've got the go-ahead run just 60 feet away. And a 1-2 count to Paige Hyman.
One thing I've noticed about Liggett, she does a really good job reading the infielders for Southeast. She's going to take what they give them. If they're out of position, she pressed second several times.
Here comes the 1-2. That's that off speed. It is struck well, but not well enough. Samuelson back on it, makes the catch. And Southeast of Saline strands runners at the corners to start this game. We will step away when we come back. It's Southeast's first at-bats of the day. You're watching the 3A State Championship game. It's brought to you by Bennington State Bank and Dr. Andrew Westbrook at Maury Clinic Sports Medicine.
At Maury Clinic Sports Medicine, we are available when you need us most. I'm Dr. Andrew Westbrook, and I am the sports medicine physician at Maury Clinic. I see patients of all ages and help them come back stronger than ever. From broken bones to joint pain, my team and I are committed to help you do more. For those with sports injuries, come see us at our sports medicine walk-in clinic Monday and Thursday mornings from 8 to 9 a.m. Prevent, recover, and strengthen so you can perform your best. Maury Clinic Sports Medicine. Make your move with confidence.
The Bennington State Bank proudly supports local sports and wants each student to know that their hard work and talent is noticed and appreciated. At Bennington State Bank, they care about local communities and are committed to fostering long-term relationships through the delivery of excellent customer service, integrity, and fairness. From helping local businesses to supporting community youth and nonprofits to helping you purchase your dream home or invest in your future, Bennington State Bank is here to help. Give them a call to experience exceptional banking with hometown service. Bennington State Bank, your trusted hometown bank. Member FDIC.
Coverage of the 3A state championship game is brought to you by Bennington State Bank and Dr. Andrew Westbrook at Maury Clinic Sports Medicine. Tyler Henry alongside you. Devin Haney with me here in the booth. Brian Dennett producing and engineering out in center field. Boy, what a day it has turned into for some high school softball, trying to beat some weather a little bit later on. But for right now, it's SAS at the plate looking to take the game's first lead, and the first pitch is in there for a called strike to Reese Heinrich. Heinrich will lead it off from her spot at shortstop. She'll be followed by center fielder Kaya Samuelson, then right fielder Annabelle Soul. Starting catcher Riley Donnelly in the cleanup spot today. Batting fifth, it's third baseman Ashley Welchel, then second baseman Veda Durfee. As Heinrich squares to bunt, pulls it back and takes a ball here. They did appeal down the line, but the count goes to 1-1. Rounding out the order, it's first baseman Hannah Teal, then DP Peyton Merrill, and left fielder Madeline McFadden brings up the caboose of the Southeast Lady Trojan lineup. 1-1 offering to Reese Heinrich is outside, and again, you see just playing with that outside edge is freshman Riley Moeller. Let's meet her. She's been great this year. And only a freshman, but she's making the 26th appearance of her season. This will be her 21st start. She leads the way with 141 innings pitched and a 22-2 record. Her 2-1 up above the head of Heinrich, and the count goes to 3-1. On the year, Moeller has a 1.64 ERA, a 1.14 whip, 127 strikeouts to just 39 walks, and only 7 hit batters this year. But boy, we have seen Heinrich work her way on base so many times to start games. She's got a chance here on 3-1. Big pitch coming from Moeller. She will bring it home. And it's outside ball 4, and Reese Heinrich is aboard to start this game. Her third consecutive leadoff walk, and we'll see how aggressive Southeast wants to be in testing the arm of Swigert behind the plate.
Not only a demon on the base paths, but she gets on so well because her eye is so good at the plate. She walks, she gets on, she doesn't necessarily need a hit, and that's what's happened right here. Now Kaya Samuelson.
And they are going to send her right away. Samuelson gets the bunt down. It should be a routine throw to first, and it is. Reese Heinrich now in scoring position. We talked to Tyler Smith. He talked about it a little bit on the pregame interview that you heard before this one began, but there were a lot of times yesterday in the win over Jefferson West where he felt like he got a little sped up and he went off script. He took ownership of that. He said, look, we're going to come out, we're going to play our game. And what does that mean? You send Reese on the first pitch, you have Kaya lay down a bunt, and you've got a runner in scoring position here for Annabelle Soul. Moeller winds up. She will bring home the first pitch. Soul will hit it off the nub of the bat, and it's a quick pop out. That's a big one recorded there by Kirk at short. And with that, let's go ahead and take you around the horn here. Defensively for Silver Lake, it'll be Swigert behind the plate, Hyman over at first, Kirk at second, Liggett at short, and Harris at third. The outfield from left to right consists of Wendy, Haney, and May. So Riley Donnelly, the last hope for Southeast to get something on the board here in the first. And the first pitch to her is in there for a called strike. And boy, you see what we watched yesterday, or maybe 2 days ago in the game against Haven. Boy, Riley Moeller pounds that strike zone. Moeller at the ready. She will bring home the 0-1. That one misses upstairs, and you wonder if that might have been just in case Heinrich had any ideas about stealing third. They're aggressive, Devin, but I don't know that they're going to be that aggressive today.
Yeah, right now Silver Lake in the driver's seat. Even though you have Heinrich on second, not a lot of attention. It's just a pitcher-batter combination right now. As long as Silver Lake can get the batter, they're going to be good and leave Heinrich out there.
1-1 to Donnelly, up and away. You see Heinrich dancing around, but nothing too crazy. Boy, two very different programs. Southeast of Saline making their 19th state appearance, but they're in search of their first ever state title. Silver Lake, they have existed for 36 years as a softball program. They've been to state 29 times. They've won it all 13 of those 29 times. Breaking ball inside. It's a called strike. Boy, that starts in the batter's box and then moves to clip the corner, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, just a crazy pitch, and we get a great vantage point of it right behind home plate here, and you can see the movement on that pitch from side to side.
Moeller with a chance to get out of the inning just like Zerflew. Here comes the 2-2. That is low and inside. The runner goes, and boy, I don't think they were ready down there at third base. Swigert was ready to make the throw.
Yeah, Swigert just kind of shaking off her third baseman, and like, hey, we got a runner coming your way, and now Heinrich is on third. So this at-bat here, very, very important early on in this game.
Plenty of ways they can bring this in, but it can't be with an out. 2 gone in the inning, 3-2 the count. Huge pitch early in this game for Moeller. Let's see what she goes with. Payoff to Donnelly, lifted up, falling fast, but not fast enough. Sailor Liggett with great speed ranges over and makes the catch, and both teams strand a runner in scoring position. We are still scoreless in the state championship game, looking to crown a 3A title winner. We'll be back after these messages. This game brought to you by Dr. Andrew Westbrook at Maury Clinic Sports Medicine and Bennington State Bank.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you, so why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
For a free personal protection review, contact Shelter Agent Cale Sharp in Salina.
Welcome back in here on the Salina Post Sports Network. Tyler Henry and Devin Haney alongside you. Brian Dennett producing and engineering for us today. Hey, want to remind you that Dr. Andrew Westbrook, sports medicine physician at Maury Clinic, is proud to support Southeast Athletics and wants to say, go Trojans. We also want to remind you, check out the furnished model homes at Aeroplanes, featuring 3 different floor plans and open every Sunday from 1 to 3. Brand new homes start at just $219,000. See the map and find more details at aeroplanesks.com. That's AEROPLAINSKS.com. Well, both sides threatened early on, Devin, but boy, it has the potential to be so many different things, but a pitcher's duel is on the table between these two.
Yeah, definitely, and I think everybody's put the weather out of the mind. If you're watching on video, you see the sunshine in the stands. And that is, you're like, well, they're talking about weather. They're crazy. No, we're not. When 7 o'clock this morning, it looked like as of 9 o'clock, no more rain until probably 3 o'clock this afternoon. But, boy, that pesky storm front just would not get out of here. We're in a window right now till about 1 o'clock where we could potentially see more rain.
First 2 pitches missed the zone here for Carly Zerflew. It's Riley Moeller, McKenna Harris, and Audrey Kirk to lead off the second here for the Silver Lake Lady Eagles. They got 2 aboard, 1 in scoring position. They stranded both. Carly Zerflew's 2-0 is hitched softly to Veda Durfee, who will look up and make the catch with ease. And that is 1 gone here to bring up McKenna Harris. Of course, Silver Lake today in the all-maroon jerseys with the gold numerals across the back. They've got the white pinstripes for Southeast. It's the white home jerseys, purple pinstripes, purple numbers, no trim for the Lady Trojans. McKenna Harris, the 7-hole hitter, will also shoot 1 Durfee's way. She'll flip to first, and that's very quickly 2 gone. And, Devin, you feel like a pitcher's duel favors Southeast of Saline, right? They don't want to see this get into a high-scoring type of shootout. Can they play in a game like that? Yes, but does it favor them? I would not say so.
Yeah, and it all goes to batting order, right? I mean, we talked about Silver Lake in the pregame just being a threat 1 through 9, no matter how they have it to plate. Southeast is more top-heavy in their hitting with their batting orders, so no matter who's up to the plate for Silver Lake, you have to be cautious.
Durfee has been busy. She stays busy, but it's a quick 3-up, 3-down inning for Carly Zerflew. And Southeast of Saline will take their at-bats in the home half of the second. Still tied up 0-0. We'll step away. We're back with more of the 3A state championship game, 100% free, courtesy of the good folks at Bennington State Bank and Dr. Andrew Westbrook at Maury Clinic Sports Medicine.
Take the next step in your career with an MBA from Kansas Wesleyan and the Saline County MBA Scholarship. This opportunity is valid for anyone living or working in Saline County and is good for $100 off per MBA credit hour, lowering the total cost for tuition to under $12,000. Don't wait. Learn more today at kwu.edu/MBA. That's kwu.edu/MBA.
Still scoreless at Rock Shock Park here in this 3A state championship game. Hey, want to remind you that GeoProbe is locally owned and globally known. GeoProbe Systems turns Kansas craftsmanship into world-class drilling technology. If variety, challenge, and teamwork drive you, apply today at geoprobe.com/jobs, supporting Southeast of Saline softball. Another inning of work here for Riley Moeller. Boy, we have seen both pitchers really crank it up here early, and you know, it's one of those things, both pitchers also trust their defense. Defense could play a big role today, Devin. This is one of the few discrepancies between this team. You feel like Silver Lake maybe has the better bats, but they commit more errors this year. 37 on the season for Silver Lake, just 22 committed by Southeast of Saline. And in a state championship game, you cannot afford mistakes.
Mistakes are what's going to be your demise. I mean, you look at the regional championship last year between Silver Lake and Southeast of Saline. Southeast had a couple blunders in that game that was the difference. That was a 4-3 game where Silver Lake got to go to the state tournament. Southeast didn't. That's the last time these two teams have hooked up. Don't think that that's not in the minds of some of these players here that played in that game last year.
And there are 5 players who returned from that team for this Silver Lake Lady Eagle squad. One of the differences is in the circle in Riley Moeller, as they did graduate their pitcher, but Sailor Liggett, Paige Hyman, Riley Moeller, Taylor Swigert, and Kaylin Haney all back from that team that went to state last year.
I think also for Southeast of Saline, you talked about Tyler Smith. His comments maybe got a little bit out of his comfort zone and sped things up a little bit. Early on in this game, Tyler, we're seeing Southeast of Saline be much more patient at the hitting. They're making pitches be thrown. Silver Lake, they're seeing 1 or 2 pitches.
That ball struck well. Carrying back is Wendy, but she will look up and make the catch, and that is one gone as Ashley Welchel is retired to start the second. It's Welchel, Durfee, and Hannah Teal to lead it off. And one other thing for Al Southeast in their lineup, they've got to get some other bats going here. The top 3 have been great this postseason. That's what you expect out of Heinrich, Samuelson, and Annabelle Soul. Welchel and Teal have been good, but the rest of this order is all batting south of 250 in the postseason. Veda Durfee takes the first pitch up high. Durfee only has 2 hits in the playoffs, but one of those was a 2-run inside the park home run that ultimately helped Southeast squeak by Wichita Collegiate, so you'll take that.
No matter what season it is, you get excited about Veda, right? She's just a freshman, and you see her excel, and no matter what sport she is doing, she's so skilled, so talented. And being at the state tournament in the championship game as a freshman is only going to pay off for her moving forward.
Well, and that's one thing we haven't really talked about with this Southeast of Saline team. Obviously, if you followed them all year, you know the story, but on this entire roster, top to bottom, not just the girls who play, everybody, there's one senior, period, for Southeast of Saline. It's Riley Donnelly, the starting catcher, is this one. Boy, a good-looking drop ball, and it drops in for strike 1 to Veda Durfee. But this is a Lady Trojan team. Regardless of what happens today, you love their odds at coming back and making another run at it. They just hope it'll be a chance to defend their first-ever state title. Durfee in the box, Moeller ready to go. Here comes the 2-1, and Veda will send this out to shallow center field. It's a diving attempt by Haney, but it's off her glove, and Durfee will move up to second. Boy, you can't fault Haney. She utilized all of her speed to try to get there, but chalk it up. It's a double for Veda Durfee. And Southeast of Saline has got a runner in scoring position, and now Haney looks to be a bit shaken up out in center field.
She is grabbing, it looks like maybe her wrist on her left hand. She sold out for that ball. And we've already seen a couple of fly balls in this game that you go against an average team, maybe an above average team, those could be trouble. Silver Lake's put them away beautifully, and so was Southeast on defense. Kaylin Haney that time, though, came in, no relation, by the way, and sold out for that ball. And she just gave everything she had, but because she was moving so fast, not only did she not get to the ball, but when she made contact with it, the ball kicked to her right, went more into left field. That gave Veda Durfee a couple of more looks there to get onto second base. But Kaylin Haney is up now, and this girl, what can we say about her that hasn't already been said, right? Not only is she one of the best softball players in the state of Kansas, she was also the Class 3A State Basketball Player of the Year for Silver Lake.
State volleyball as well?
Yep.
I mean, at this point, what accolades hasn't she collected? An elite athlete in all sports. And whether you're a fan of Southeast or not, what is best for the game of softball is for her to still be out there in center field. Hannah Teal, next up here for Southeast of Saline. She's turned it on here in the postseason. A great chance to try to get something on the board for the Lady Trojans. She'll take the first pitch. It's a fastball up, and the count starts at 0-1. Teal is 5 of 12 in the postseason, batting .416. She has 2 of Southeast of Saline's 3 total extra base hits. I guess now 4 total now that Veda Durfee's out there with a double. The 0-1 pitch to Teal is flared down the line, and it's caught by Hyman. And that's another quick out recorded here. It's 2 down for Peyton Merrill. This is a golden opportunity for Peyton Merrill. She's just 1 of 8 here in the postseason. She is the DP on the year. She is still in search of her 10th hit of the season. What a time this might be for that. First pitch to her. It's in there for a called strike. That 8-hole could get interesting for Southeast. They'll have options if Merrill stays a little bit cold. You don't know whether they'll utilize those options or not, but in a game like this, you got to use everything at your disposal. See if Moeller continues to attack. The 0-1 is shot foul. That'll find its way to the screen, and the count goes to 0-2.
I wonder what the conversation was with the team starting this game. Was it patience in the box? Is it a team objective, or is it just something that Tyler Smith told them to just kind of relax and get the pitch they want?
Either way, you feel like it could be an adjustment from Tuesday as this misses high. Merrill leaves it there. They were a little too aggressive, I think, for their own good in that semifinal game against Jefferson West. So I don't know if this team needs to be told that. Tyler Smith says you can only coach what you have. And, boy, he has got a great group of high softball IQ girls. But one way or another, they needed to scale that aggressiveness back just a little bit. Moeller delivers the 1-2. It's upstairs. And clearly the scouting report on Merrill is that she does like that high pitch, but Merrill has left 2 of them there now.
Yeah, good patience. She's leaving the bat on her shoulder. Probably didn't pay off on that foul ball. I think that was a pitch she could have handled, but we'll see what she does right here.
2-2 to Merrill. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that will conclude the second inning. We've still got a scoreless ball game in the 3A state championship game you're watching right here on Salina Post, courtesy of Dr. Andrew Westbrook at Maury Clinic Sports Medicine and by the Bennington State Bank.
The hours of drills, the pre-dawn workouts, the hundreds of laps. It takes hard work, passion, and drive to do what you love. When you're sidelined by injury, Salina Regional Sports Medicine is just as committed and works just as hard to get you back in the game. Salina Regional Sports Medicine, 785-452-7366. SalinaRegionalSportsMedicine.com.
Back here on the Salina Post Sports Network, Tyler Henry and Devin Haney alongside you. We go to the third. Both teams going to have the 9-1 and 2-hole hitters up, and you know the dam's going to break for one of these teams. You wonder who it might be. We have not talked a lot about Silver Lake's schedule, Devin, and we kind of need to because, boy, it was a gauntlet. Yes, they're 27-4. You look back, you think, okay, so who's good enough to beat Silver Lake? Well, a Rossville team that made it to state in Class 1-2A, a Wamego team that made it to state, as they always do, in Class 4A, and then you go back and you look at a loss to a Holton team that also had a phenomenal campaign. But the one common thread in all of those losses, errors in the field. As long as Silver Lake can keep it tightened up, you feel like they are the favorites, arguably, here today.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Southeast comes in 1 loss. They're the number 1 seed, and somebody would look at the bracket not really knowing and not having an opinion. I would say, though, Silver Lake's the favorite coming in. Just seeing what they do top to bottom, the schedule that they hold, nothing against Southeast of Saline. Don't get me wrong. It's very, very close. I think Southeast of Saline's going to have to play one of their best games of the season, though, to pull this out.
Well, and like I said before, I mean, you're talking about a Silver Lake program. They've already got 13 state titles. They've been back-to-back second-place finishes in each of the last 2 years. The year before that, who won state? Oh, yeah, it was Silver Lake. So they're trying to get back on top of the 3A world. As this ball fouled away by Mariah Cortan. That'll be Cortan, Haney, and Liggett to lead it off, and we'll also see how Haney's feeling.
Well, and how much excitement was there amongst the non-Frontenac fans when Frontenac went out, because it's been Frontenac and Silver Lake holding the trophy.
Yeah, it certainly has. The 2-2 misses upstairs, and the count goes full. I've told this story before, but in the last 12 years, only 6 teams have won Class 3A in softball. Silver Lake has done it 4 times. Frontenac has done it 4 times. Riverton twice. And then 2 other squads that did it once apiece. Here's a great pick by Samuelson. And she will fire to first. Sorry, Heinrich. And that is the first out of the inning.
Heinrich, just a textbook play. Glove down, body in front, scoop and throw. He just doesn't get any better than that. It wasn't even a close play over first. She's just so fundamentally sound.
And, boy, look at the entire outfield is rushing in. The corners are coming in. Everybody's expecting Kaylin Haney to try to bunt or slap this down the line. Haney struck out swinging her first time up. We didn't have a chance to go through her numbers. She is ridiculous. She bats .500. She slugs .535. She has 57 hits this season for a team that is right now playing in their 32nd game of the year. That's not bad numbers.
So let me take you through a quick comparison between junior year and senior year for Kaylin Haney. Her batting average has gone up 80 points. Her hits have almost doubled, 57 to 34, and her stolen bases have doubled, 30 stolen bases coming into today. All of last year, she only had 15.
Yeah, she is a unit, and this is, Southeast knows. This is similar to Reese Heinrich for Southeast of Saline. You got to find a way to get Haney out. 1-2 the count. Carly Zerflew brings it home off speed. Can't quite get that one to fall. One of the things that has been arguably the most impressive thing about Carly Zerflew, if she wanted to go out there and try to strike everybody out, she could. She pitches to weak contact, and she is more than content to let the defenders behind her pick her up. That one must have slipped. It finds its way in the dirt, and the count's full once again here on Kaylin Haney.
Boy, what a beautiful, beautiful late morning it turned into. Again, there is a potential for rain coming down the pike, but we'll see how that turns out here as we get more closer towards the 1 o'clock hour.
Payoff pitch. It's ball 4 to Haney, and you hear the crowd for Silver Lake cheering here. They know what that means. Like I said, very similar to Reese Heinrich. This is as close to an automatic stolen base as what exists. We have not seen many players challenge Donnelly. And with where the middle infielders are setting up shop here, I'm not sure that they're going to give her an opportunity. We'll see if Haney goes. She will stay put at first here as Sailor Liggett takes ball 1. Liggett, a single back in the first inning. She made it as far as third, but was stranded there by the Southeast defense. 1-0 pitch. In there for a strike. You see Zerflew keeping it on the outside corner. Does not want to give anything tasty to Sailor Liggett. Liggett, only a sophomore, already slugging .515, 38 hits, 38 RBI, 39 runs scored. Good things happen when she is at the plate. Here she'll foul one away, and the count goes to 1-2 here.
Get people on base, and Heinrich does this a lot. We talk about it with Southeast of Saline, but obviously other teams do it too. The potential to steal bases isn't just to steal the base. It's what may happen after that. Pressure makes fools of us all, right? A bad throw to second, you get an extra base, maybe a run scored. It's not just taking the base. It's the sequence of what may happen after that as well.
And there you see Haney does, in fact, swipe the bag. But a lot of respect given to Donnelly. I mean, for as fast as Haney is, you'd think she'd be off on the first, second, maybe the third pitch. Instead, she sits tight. Now she's in scoring position with one down, and Sailor Liggett is licking her chops at the thought of a 39th RBI on the year. She does that. Silver Lake will have the lead. Zerflew looking to record a big out, and time is called as both players taking a little more time than what they might have. Didn't go through the coaches earlier. Southeast is led by second-year head coach Tyler Smith, assisted by Kenny Waldman and Stephanie Metlin. On the other side, Nick Hamilton is the skipper for Silver Lake. He is helped out by Russ Cobb and Sonia Pressgrove. Of course, that information not in the Keisha program. Silver Lake's info's in there twice. Southeast, no record of them being here. Big pitch coming here for Carly Zerflew. Here comes the payoff pitch, and it misses high, ball 4. And for the second time in 3 innings, it's 2 aboard, 1 away here for Silver Lake.
Immediately, Tyler Smith emerges from the dugout, communicating with his defense in the field. Also, probably giving Carly just a moment here to refocus and see what she has in front of her now with runners on first and second.
This is the toughest part of the lineup. Savannah Wendy, who was hit by a pitch, her first time up, will take her second hacks of the day. Wendy has been ridiculous this postseason. 9 of 16. She's batting .562 in the 5-game sample. And boy, I mean, this is a dream for Silver Lake, right? 1 away, heart of the order coming up to bat. Great chance to get some runs here. 0-1 pitch to Wendy. She'll square to bunt, pops it up, charging in. It's in and then out of the glove of Welchel, who I think rightfully so was worried about running into Donnelly. That would have been a huge out to record, but those two, I mean, it was right in between them.
Yeah, Welchel had it in her glove, and you wonder, too, maybe if that ball isn't a little bit wet. I'd be curious to see what it looks like on the field before the game. This field was still very, very wet.
0-2 pitch, struck well, but straight out to Kaya Samuelson, and she will glove it for out number 1. And you wonder if Kaylin Haney watched some highlights last night. Boy, she thought about tagging up. I wouldn't recommend that on Kaya Samuelson.
Well, and also Reese Heinrich was right there, receptive to the cutoff throw, right in the middle of second and third base, right along the line. Haney had to see that as well, and probably also maybe an immense amount of confidence in the batter that's at the plate right now.
Taylor Swigert has been the cleanup hitter almost all season long. 4 of 18 here in the postseason. Another senior in this lineup. And you want to know who the biggest power bat is? You're looking at it. .716 slugging, 40 RBI, 41 hits this year. She has been a monster for Silver Lake, but she cuts over the top of a drop ball, and the count is even 1-1 as Carly Zerflew, boy, seems to love getting her into these situations as much as she loves getting herself out of them.
Yeah, and with Zweiger, you know if she gets a hold of one, you're not going to have to run that hard because she's going to crank it. 40 RBIs, as you said. She leads the team.
1-1 from Zerflew in the dirt. Runner goes to third. Good throw, but the tag not in time, and both runners advance. So now you've got Haney over there at third base. You've got Liggett at second. But if you're Southeast, you just got to focus up on the batter here with a 2-1 count. Silver Lake's second opportunity to bring in some runs here today. The 2-1 from Zerflew. Big swing and a miss. And she entices Zweigert with another pitch that falls off a table.
And what that does also, Tyler, is it kind of relaxes Zerflew a little bit because first base is open. If you want to play around with some pitches that are kind of on the edge or whatever and you end up walking Zweigert, it's not that big of a deal here.
You also don't have to pitch to the cleanup hitter if you happen to walk her, but you know that Zerflew is looking to put her down. And, well, time is called here. Zweigert wants a moment to think this over. Boy, the nerves run high in a game like this. Every hitter, their whole career, their whole lives, from the time they were playing 4U softball, has thought about a moment like this. Good-looking pitch called ball 3. And here it is, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a chance to bring in a couple of runs here for Silver Lake.
I love watching Carly Zerflew's body language. She thought that was a strike. Her shoulders went down, and let's see if she can rebound here.
Payoff from Zerflew. In there. Whoa! Call ball 4. The Southeast defense was headed to the dugout. But like you said, this is not the worst thing in the world for a couple of reasons. Number one, the bases are loaded. Now you've got to force at any base. And not to say that it's better, but I don't know, man. You don't have to pitch to the cleanup hitter in Zweigert. Hyman's been great, but you kind of take your chances there.
Yeah, you still have a senior coming up if you're Silver Lake and Paige Hyman, just not quite the same caliber type of hitter. As Zweigert, we're going to see a courtesy runner here now coming in for Taylor Zweigert.
Yep, Kylie Haney is in to run for Zweigert over there at first. And worth noting, of the 5 base runners that Silver Lake has gotten aboard today, only 1 hit. It was the Sailor Liggett single. Other than that, it's been all walks and hit batters. So Paige Hyman with a chance to be the hero early. She'll take the first pitch, and boy, these are just not finding their way across the corners the way they usually do for Carly Zerflew. Zerflew brings home the 1-0. That one misses low and inside, and the count to 2-0. Of course, nowhere to put her here. Hyman has been great this year. She bats .267, slugs .419, 29 driven in from her spot in the 5-hole. 2-0, big swing and a miss. Hyman cuts over the top. That drop ball's been working for Carly today.
Yeah, she reached back and found one there. That's got to give her a boost of confidence here, knowing that she can blow one by or even put that drop ball in there in location as well.
2-1 the count. And this time, boy, like I said, just missing the corners. And the count is 3-1. If you're Hyman, I know this is going to be a dream count. You wonder how aggressive you get on 3-1. And the answer, wow, she took it, and it's called ball 4. So the first run of the game is walked in. The bases stay loaded, and here comes Riley Moeller. And they're going to go out and have a chat with Carly Zerflew.
Yeah, we talk about emotionally. It's part of what makes her a great competitor, right? You look at Carly Zerflew. Not only is she a good pitcher, she started her freshman year, she ran track. Okay, just her freshman year she played basketball. She switched over and went to the wrestling mat, made state in wrestling. She could probably go to Wichita right now in the state tournament, win the 100 or 200 at the state track meet. She is just that type of person, but what makes her a great competitor is she is very emotional. And that is just something right now that they're trying to get everybody on the same page. Obviously, when bases are loaded, you've only given up one run here. I mean, this is not going to be the do-or-die situation of the game, but you don't want to have it get any worse than this. You want to stop the bleeding here, get an out. As you said, it's still a force at any base here. Get a ground ball, get you something up in the air that you can get a pop out and get out of the inning.
On the other side, if you're Riley Moeller, what an opportunity this is. You're the pitcher of record. You've got a one-run lead, and you can go out there and get yourself some additional run support here, knowing that you've only given up a handful of earned runs this whole postseason, only 2 given up. So this is a very pivotal at-bat. Riley Moeller at the dish. Here comes the first pitch from Carly Zerflu. That's taken on a line. It is foul, and boy, you talk about a game of inches. That's 2, maybe even 3 runs if it finds its way on the other side of the bag.
And I don't know that the third base umpire had a great look at that just because all the traffic in front of him, but our home plate today was all over that call.
So Zerflu starts ahead in the count, 0-1. Moeller's been great this postseason as well, although she is going to start in an 0-2 hole. And boy, what a win this would be for Southeast. If they can get out of this inning unscathed, if they can give up just that 1 run, that would be colossal for the Lady Trojans. Moeller with a chance to break this game wide open. Zerflu facing down an 0-2 count. She brings it home. It's fouled away. We will do it again on 0-2.
And it's this kind of pressure that Silver Lake puts on you all game long. We didn't talk about it much in the pregame, but yesterday against Haven pulled their all-state pitcher out of the game in the first inning because of what Silver Lake was doing.
0-2 popped up. Here comes Heinrich, and she makes the catch. Southeast of Saline strands the bases loaded for Silver Lake, but the Lady Eagles do get on the board. They lead it 1-0 as we go to the home half of the third. Coverage of this state title game brought to you by Bennington State Bank and Dr. Andrew Westbrook at Maury Clinic Sports Medicine.
A smooth ride and safe handling start with a strong suspension. At Commercial Tire Center in Salina, our team provides expert suspension maintenance and repair for both automotive and diesel vehicles. From shocks, struts, and steering to full mechanical service, our certified technicians help extend tire life and keep your vehicle road ready. Whether it's your everyday car or a hardworking diesel truck, count on Commercial Tire Center to keep you moving.
Commercial Tire Centers, where service is everything.
Welcome back in on the Salina Post Sports Network. You're watching this state championship game live and free, and it's brought to you by the Bennington State Bank and by Dr. Andrew Westbrook at Maury Clinic Sports Medicine. Tyler Henry, Devin Haney, a 1-0 lead for Silver Lake, and if you're southeast of Saline, now you get the bats back up. You got a chance to get something on the board. And you feel like even just getting one, even just tying it up here, you feel really good. You got a great part of the lineup up to do it. Madeline McFadden, Reese Heinrich, and Kaya Samuelson in Southeast with an opportunity to go back out there and pick themselves up a run.
And this is one of those crown jewel spots for McFadden, right? If you're at the bottom of the order, if you can get on base here and get back to the top of the order with Reese Heinrich with nobody out, boy, you just feel good about your chances of evening this thing up or maybe even getting the lead.
Madeline McFadden has 3 hits in the postseason. It feels like they've all been big ones, and they've all had one thing in common. She has led off the inning in that respective at-bat. First pitch to her misses in the dirt. That'll find its way back for a 1-0 count. You've also got to feel like a lot of confidence now for Riley Moeller, who's pitching out there with a lead for the first time today. It's still early, still a lot of softball left to be played, but there's a little wind in your sails when you've got the lead. McFadden digs back in from the right side. Moeller brings home the 1-0. It is chopped foul off the foot of McFadden, who this season, you look at the total numbers for the sophomore, she's batting at .341, but she is that second leadoff hitter. She gets on base at a .500 average. Flip a coin, she's on base half the time. 1-1 the count. McFadden trying to set the table. Moeller brings it home off speed. It's hit softly. Another diving catch, and this time it is made. What a snag. Out in left, Savannah Wendy with the extension, and it's one gone here in the third.
Our buddy Anthony loves to use the term snow cone, right? That snow cone could not get any further out of the cup than what it was there for Savannah Windy. What a great defensive play.
Yeah, that snow cone just about turned into a snowball. So Reese Heinrich, who led off with a walk, is batting now for the second time today. Only 2 base runners the first time through the lineup. That leadoff double for Veda Durfee and the leadoff walk for Reese Heinrich. Heinrich's been good about getting on base all postseason long. Here comes the first pitch to her. And it's outside, ball 1. And, boy, she is the ultimate catch-22 to face as a pitcher because you don't want to put it in the zone. You don't want to give her something that she can cut on. She bats .478. She slugs .696. But if you walk her, you basically just gave up a double.
At least.
Yeah. 1-0 pitch on the way. That one will find its way in there for a called strike, and the count's a 1-1 here on Heinrich.
Yeah, and just the tandem, it's the Batman Robin of Heinrich and Samuelson. Heinrich gets on. Samuelson does such a great job advancing her.
1-1 the count. Pitch on the way. That's outside. The count goes to 2-1. And I talked with Coach Smith about this, too. I said, the top 3, 4 in your lineup, I mean, you feel like if you need one run, you feel really good about those girls going and getting it done. It is a heck of a weapon they have here at the top of the lineup. But they've got to find a way to get her on if they want to get her around. Here comes the 2-1 pitch from Riley Moeller. Softly hit down the line. Should be easy work for Harris, and it is. And, boy, you see Silver Lake jumping up and down a little bit. They know what a big out that is.
Heinrich got out of the box slow on that. She might have spun her wheels a little. This field was covered overnight for most of that rain, but as I said before, only the dirt part, the artificial turf parts, it is still very, very wet. Portions there was water just kind of pooling a little bit. It has settled, but this is not a dry field by any means. Looked like Arish just kind of spun her tires getting out of the box.
So it falls to Kaya Samuelson to try to make something happen here. Samuelson has been ridiculous here in the playoffs. She's been good all year, but got off to a bit of a slow start. Here she'll watch the first pitch in for a called strike. But since the postseason has begun, she's 9 of 12. And if I'm not mistaken, 3 of those outs came on sacrifice bunts. So when she's been free to swing away, she has been incredible here in the playoffs. 0-1, that's in the dirt. Count goes even at 1-1.
It's postseason Kaya, right? I mean, you look at it no matter what sport you're doing. These two sophomores, specifically with Heinrich and Samuelson, they don't get nervous, it seems. They just have ice running through their veins, and they're built for this.
1-1 the count. Pitch taken up high for a ball. Coach Smith told us, and we watched some of it. I mean, she had a brutal slump that lasted 3 weeks. That's 6 doubleheaders, 12 total games, and it brought her average all the way down to 384 on the year. That's just how good Kaya Samuelson's been throughout the course of her career. And by the way, only a sophomore here for Southeast of Saline. 2-1. Looked inside, called a strike. It seems like the inside corner has been given more than the outside. That's been consistent, I feel like, across both pitchers. But that is the case here. It's 2-2, and Samuelson going to have to shorten up on that bat just a little bit. Southeast trying to avoid going down in order. Moeller trying to do just that. 2-2 pitch. It is up and away. Boy, Samuelson thought that one might have been in the zone. She's fortunate it wasn't.
Yes, it was either that or she wanted to swing really bad.
Either way, full count, 2 gone here in the 3rd inning. Samuelson trying to start the party here for Southeast of Saline. Here comes the 3-2. It is yanked but fouled down the line. And we have not talked about the dimensions of this park. For Southeast of Saline, they go, I believe, 230 to 240 all the way around. Those dimensions are actually shorter here at a Division I ballpark as you've got 200 to the corners and 220 to straightaway center. This is not a Southeast team that has a ton of get it over the wall type power, but they are good about finding the gaps.
And the wind has picked up just a little bit. It's blowing towards the left field line, towards the left field wall.
Here comes another payoff pitch to Kaya Samuelson. She will fight it off and live to see another. These two teams met 1 year ago in the regional championship game. Silver Lake knocked Southeast out. It was a 4-3 game. Brought back 5 players from that team, including Moeller, who now finds herself in the circle. Here comes the payoff pitch. 3rd time we've seen it. That one struck well, but on a line right to Haney. And she will glove it for out number 3. We'll step away when we come back. It's 4th inning action of the 3A state championship game. It's brought to you by Bennington State Bank and Dr. Andrew Westbrook at Maury Clinic Sports Medicine.
When the time comes to honor a life, Hire Scott Mortuary in Salina is here with care, compassion, and guidance every step of the way. Celebrate memories, cherish family, and find comfort in tradition. Hire Scott Mortuary, celebrating life, embracing legacy.
New Image Audio is offering ceramic tint. If you're sending your child off to school or your wife on a road trip, ceramic tint offers heat rejection up to 90%, privacy in a college town or in the city, helps keep the wear down on the AC system, making your car easier to cool down. Never worry about your kid locking their keys in their car. With Drone Mobile, you can unlock their car from anywhere. Vehicle breakdown in an unknown area, GPS locating helps roadside service find your loved one quickly with the ability to send the vehicle location directly to the rescue squad. New Image Audio, located at 340 South Broadway. Phone calls welcome.
Welcome back in here to Rock Chalk Park in Lawrence, Kansas. Tyler Henry joined by Devin Haney. Brian Dennett producing and engineering for us today. Devin, we didn't have a chance to go through our New Image Audio keys to the game, but for Southeast of Saline, really comes down to this. If you don't give up free runners, you're going to be in good shape. They've only allowed one hit, but there have been 6 total base runners for the Lady Eagles, and 5 of them have come on walks or hit batters. That's going to have to get tightened up if Southeast wants to keep runs off the board.
Yeah, and really now looking back on that, if you would ask me before the game, I would say back up Zerflu, be solid on defense, don't make mistakes. They have been that, definitely been that through this game so far. Just a 1-0 game, and it's interesting to see how this is playing out now as it's a low-scoring game. I didn't really kind of expect that.
I knew it was on the table given how both of these pitchers have been this year, as it will be the bottom of the lineup. McKenna Harris, Audrey Kirk, and Mariah Cortan to lead things off here for Silver Lake. And boy, you feel like Zerflu just needs a bounce-back inning. She walked all 4 base runners. Now you've got Harris saying that she got hit there, but yeah, no, that did not clip her in the slightest. And so that will allow Zerflu to get back in and get back to work here in yet another frame with a 1-1 count to McKenna Harris. Pitch outside. Boy, you can tell, too, Zerflu's been trying to live outside. She does that so often, and that pitch has just not been given to her. But you see it all the time, right? I mean, it's consistent both ways. You got to find a way to work around it if you're Carly.
Yeah, that last inning, she was really trying to paint the outside, and that strike zone just not there.
2-1 on the ground, picked up by Heinrich. Throw to first in time. It's 1 gone here in the 4th. And for Southeast, like I said, you just got to keep those legs churning and keep it rolling here as the Lady Trojans looking to record outs, trying to avoid facing the top of the lineup here in the 4th as well. Audrey Kirk steps in now, the 8-hole hitter for Silver Lake. Kirk, another senior, batting .342. When your 8-hole hitter bats .342 and slugs .411, I mean, that is a state championship caliber team.
Well, it's what we talked about, right? 1 through 9, they are a threat to get on the base. It's never a time to relax for the Southeast of Saline defense.
1-0 the count. Zerflu brings it home. This one popped up, and Donnelly gloves it. And it's 2 gone here in the 4th.
Tyler, I want to thank Technical Consulting and Kansas Bankers Technologies. We have all kinds of challenges whenever we go out and we're trying to do the things that we do. They have helped us solve a lot of those challenges this year, and boy, we look forward to their partnership moving forward and doing even better things.
They have been spectacular, and boy, a big part of the reason we're able to be here and bring you this game. And boy, I also want to thank Brian Dennett for all the work that he's put in for us all season long. He's doing the camera operations and everything else out there in center field. If it looks good, you can thank Brian Dennett for that.
He really loves his new treehouse out there.
He does. I would too. That thing is awesome. 1-0 pitch on the way. This one fouled back to the screen. 2 great matchups today to watch out for, Devin. Southeast of Saline versus Silver Lake, and Brian Dennett versus the White Balance as the Clouds will not decide if they want to be here or not.
Yeah, I have not checked the weather. I'm just kind of like in cruise control right now, just apprehensive to do that.
1-1 to Cortan. Swings over the top, and the count goes to 1-2.
And by the way, we're going to have to call our buddy Jason Mann at Salina Fence. We're going to put these tree houses up all over central Kansas for Brian to shoot from center field.
The 1-2 pitch, off speed in the dirt. It's better than my idea. I said we just buy a small fleet of scissor lifts and,
well, there you go.
Get them up and out there. Hey, one way or another, grateful to have the elevation, grateful to be bringing you coverage of this game, and grateful to be bringing it to you for free. That's an important part of everything that we do. 2-2 the count. Zerflu looking for a big out. Brings home a fastball. That misses low, and the count goes to 3-2 on Mariah Cortan. For a 9-hole hitter, Cortan's been great this year here in the postseason, batting .400, 6 of 15 thus far. Payoff pitch back to the pitcher. It finds its way through. Durfee can't quite handle it, and she will eat the throw. And it's one of those that It didn't tip the glove of Zerflu, but it does give Durfee a little something extra to have to think about, and now Southeast will face the top of the lineup.
Yeah, that ball was weird coming. I think Carly did have it come off the top of her glove a little bit. It redirected Veda, and Veda, again, we talk about field conditions, moisture, things like that. You try to barehand that ball and pick it up, it might be a little slick.
Rolling an infield single for Mariah Cortan. Like I said, not a lot you're going to do about that. And it's Kaylin Haney and all her crazy numbers and accolades, and boy, about the only thing she doesn't have is a state softball trophy, and even then she does have one of those as she was on the team. Runner goes, really late throw there for Donnelly, and Cortan is going to be credited with a stolen base here. That's just the 6th of the season for Mariah Cortan. Didn't give the number earlier, but Silver Lake 107 steals on the season to Southeast's 157. So another runner in scoring position. The 1-1 is fouled away here by Haney. And we will see another installment of this excellent showdown between Carly Zerflu and Kaylin Haney, each side with one success today. Zerflu struck her out in the first. Haney walked and scored the game's lone run. Here she's going to pop it up. It's going to stay on the infield, and Heinrich will glove it for the 3rd out of the inning. So Southeast of Saline out of another inning unscathed. We are halfway home in this 3A state championship game. We'll step away. We're back with more. It's brought to you by Dr. Andrew Westbrook at Mallory Clinic Sports Medicine and by Bennington State Bank.
Salina Surgical Hospital is a high-quality surgical facility with a comfortable and home-like atmosphere. Together with our community's greatest doctors, we are committed to a patient care model where exceptional satisfaction is the norm and every patient feels like they are treated with respect, dignity, and compassion. Salina Surgical Hospital is partially owned by a group of local community-involved physicians. Talk to your doctor about scheduling your next procedure with us. Salina Surgical Hospital. Your voice, your choice.
Welcome back to Rock Shock Park as we pick up the action, a 1-0 lead for Silver Lake in the 3A state championship game. Want to thank Cale Sharp at Shelter Insurance. Be sure to go visit Cale at his new location at 901 East Prescott in Salina. And also, fans, don't forget to check out the Salina Post Facebook page and at SPost Sports on X all postseason long. You can see video highlights from all around our area. That is proudly presented by the good folks at Billings Group. Annabelle Soul, Riley Donnelly, and Ashley Welchel will lead off the 4th here for Southeast of Saline. The Lady Trojans looking, maybe needing to get on the scoreboard here as we have reached the midway mark, and they are still trying to solve the Rubik's Cube that is Riley Moeller. First pitch, swing and a miss, and Annabelle Soul comes up empty. That off speed has been good, and Moeller, another pitcher, Devin, that's not overpowering, but boy, her command of the zone is impeccable.
Yeah, she works well, right to left, left to right. She moves the ball around. It's never same spot, same time. She does a really good job with her control.
0-1, Soul fouls it back, and she's got her in an 0-2 hole. Moeller has 127 strikeouts this year to just 39 walks, and boy, she has had one of each today. The majority of pitches have been put in play for both sides. She is in control here, up 0-2 on Annabelle Soul. Soul this season getting on base at a .429 clip. Lady Trojans trying to get the leadoff runner aboard for just the 2nd time today. This one popped up, should be easy work for Kirk, and she will make the catch for the 1st out of the inning.
I did take a peek at the weather during the last break, Tyler. 11:53 right now, and it looks like we're going to be okay for this game. The wind picking up piqued my interest. There's a pretty good storm right now west and south of Topeka. Think like Topeka to the Emporia line. Our projected next rainfall here in Lawrence at Arocha Park is about 110. This game should be okay. The 4A championship game after is probably not so much.
And, I mean, you'd say you're running out of days to get these in, but they're state championship games. They got to be played at some point. So, yeah, like I said, very grateful to be playing here in the early game. And there's something, too, about playing in the first game of the day. There's nobody on the field. You can come out, stay loose, be relaxed. And, yeah, we saw both squads out there. One thing you can say about both teams, they have a ton of fun out there and have all season long. Good-looking pitch. Misses inside. Count goes even at 1-1 on Riley Donnelly. Donnelly, the lone senior for Southeast of Saline, the only player they will have to say goodbye to in between this year and next. Batting .333, slugging .462. What a time this would be for a big postseason hit if she can find it. 1-1 offering, misses high, and the count to 2-1 here as Moeller continues to work through the lineup for a second time today. And Moeller wanted a new softball. You wonder if that had to do with the field conditions or anything like that. Grounds crew did a great job, though. I mean, they were out here with the leaf blowers. They had the tarp over the infield, and, yeah, they did everything they could to make sure that conditions were as optimal as they were ever going to be after yesterday's rain.
And not to say this to discredit anybody else, but that's the blessing of being in a D1 park.
2-1 on a line out into left center field, and Riley Donnelly is aboard for Southeast of Saline. It's just their second hit of the day. She is just their third base runner, but you bring one in and you're looking at a tie game, and here comes Ashley Welchel.
You have all the equipment, you have all the wherewithal to take care of the facility, and that's what you have here. That's the great thing about being here at Arocha Ballpark.
It looks great. Southeast now trying to run the bases and make sure that they're all up to snuff, and check the grounds crew's work out there. Welchel flew out to left her first time up. She cuts through the first pitch. Nasty movement on that for Moeller. And so many pitches. I mean, Moeller does the same thing Zerflu does, right? The pitches that start in the box and break to the plate, they start in the plate, they break to the box, and if you don't know what's coming, it is very tough to catch up and get the bat to it. 0-1 offering. Up and in. That's a good take for Welchel. That high pitch is always enticing.
And you've said it several times. She works the inside of the plate, especially to right-handed hitters, very, very well. Her placement on that inside pitch is crazy. You know it's a strike, but you still probably can't do anything with it.
1-1 popped up. This one should be easy work for Haney, who drifts in, makes the catch, and it's 2 gone here in the fourth. And, yeah, we've seen just a lot of weak contact. I mean, we expected this to maybe be a pitcher's duel, but it was never going to be both pitchers with 13 strikeouts by the end. This is not the style that these two play, but a lot of weak contact, and it falls to Veda Durfee to try and get it done. And one quick fun note on Durfee. 3 hits this postseason, all of them extra base hits.
With 2 outs? Sorry, I got greedy. There.
You got a little greedy. We'll see what she can do as the first pitch. There it is again. Inside corner. That one is a ball. But it's important to know as well, and you brought it up, I mean, even if you do get the bat to it, you're not doing anything with that pitch. So you let it go, you take your strike if that's what you need to do, and you get back to work here on 1-0.
Yeah, it's literally off your hands if you do put a swing on it.
Pitch to Durfee. That one misses at the knees, and the count goes to 2-0. And for as good as Durfee's been at getting the barrel to it, I've been impressed this season with her patience. You don't expect many freshmen to come in on the year and do what she's done, but even numbers between strikeouts and walks, she has done a good job at not overextending herself. 2-0 the count. Moeller trying to get out of the inning unscathed. Brings it home. This one, it gets through under the glove of Harris, and Southeast of Saline with back-to-back singles as they've got 2 aboard and 2 away for Hannah Teal.
This Southeast of Saline team has a knack for making 2-out rallies, as what we saw it against Wichita Trinity in the regional, where they came back, scored a couple of runs there, and you got to keep looking. You got to keep going, right? The way they play softball, you just keep the train moving and just keep getting on base. And so far, this is one of their best opportunities all day long.
And Hannah Teal has been great this postseason, and hitting is now the only thing that she has to worry about. As the first offering, there's that inside corner. This one misses, but for Teal, she has split pitching duties throughout the course of the season with Zerflu, but you get to this point, you ride your best arm, and so Hannah Teal can put all of her effort, all of her work into the at-bats. So far, that's paid dividends for Southeast of Saline. 1-0 pitch to Hannah Teal. Misses high. Count goes to 2-0. This is really the most pressure that Riley Moeller has faced since back in that first inning. Reese Heinrich got to third base back in the first. Southeast got Durfee to second in the second. First time they've had a runner in scoring position since that frame. 2-0 to Hannah Teal. Big swing and a miss, and the count to 2-1. This season, Southeast has 7 home runs, the majority of those inside the Parkers. Teal does not have one. You're not thinking about swinging for the fences here. 2-1 delivery. Up and in, called a strike, and the count goes to 2-2. Lady Trojans trying to keep the inning going here in the fourth, 2 away. Riley Moeller facing Teal for the second time today. Here comes a big 2-2 pitch. It is lifted into the gap in left center field. It's caught by Haney, and that's another inning with no runs surrendered by Riley Moeller. We go to the fifth. It's still a 1-0 Silver Lake Lady Eagle lead. Back with more 3A state championship game coverage when we return on the Salina Post Sports Network.
At AJ Honey Farms, the honey is just the beginning. From raw honey and wax melts to happy bee balm and beekeeping gear, they've got everything buzzing with local flavor. Whether you're soothing a sore throat, starting your own hive, or gifting something sweet to a loved one, AJ Honey Farms brings the bees and the kind of sweetness only they can bottle.
This is Alan from AJ Honey Farms right here at 901 North 9th Street in Salina, Kansas. We truly appreciate your continued support and thank you for choosing local.
Coverage of this 3A state championship game presented by Maury Clinic Sports Medicine and Dr. Andrew Westbrook, also by Bennington State Bank. And we would also like to remind you that Aeroplanes has open houses every Sunday featuring 3 different floor plans. Brand new homes starting at just $219,000. See the map and find more details at aeroplanesks.com. That's aeroplansks.com.
Southeast of Saline stranding 2 runners there, Tyler. They have stranded a total of 4 so far. When you look at Silver Lake's side of things, after 4 innings, they have stranded 6, including one time where they stranded the bases loaded.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like Silver Lake's had opportunities to bust this game wide open. You just wonder how many times you can keep getting away with this. And, I mean, for the Lady Eagles, I have to bring it up again because it is kind of the number of the day. 7 base runners in this game, 2 hits. That's what they're looking at. 1 hit. They gave an error to – I think the scoreboard's wrong. I'm just going to come out and say it. Because it had to be one or the other, and neither one of them are up there on the board.
But it's working today.
Sure,
so
it is.
It was not working on Thursday.
It'll be Sailor Liggett, Savannah Wendy, and Taylor Zweigert, the 2, 3, and 4-hole hitters to lead it off for Silver Lake. Another inning of work for Carly Zerflu. You mentioned that Haven lifted their starter after walking the bases loaded. That's probably not going to be the case here today no matter what happens, and I love that for Coach Tyler Smith and the rest of the staff. I mean, Zerflu, this is her game. I mean, she is the one that got this team here, and they are going to ride her arm as far as she can take them. 1-1 the count. Pitch to Liggett up the middle. It's a leadoff single here for Silver Lake, and the Lady Eagles set up shop with nobody out, and Savannah Wendy at the plate.
Liggett put that right in the perfect area. Went right off the back heels of Zerflu, who is finishing up her pitching motion, and then just skated right by second base, went all the way into center field.
So 1 aboard. It's Sailor Liggett, in case you're wondering, 13 stolen bases. She has the 2nd most on the team, behind only Kaylin Haney. Another hot shot. Heinrich, good to glove it there. They get 1. They go back across, not in time. That is a tough, tough play for Reese Heinrich. She made it look much easier than it should have been as she was running to cover the bag at second. Still came back, knocked it down, and made the play.
90% of the people at short would have been eaten up by that ball. That's why Reese Heinrich's in the top 10%, because she makes that play. Still was aware enough to know where to go to get the leadoff runner, and almost, with the help of Veda Durfee, turn the double play.
It's a fielder's choice, and yeah, the fact that they were even remotely close to turning 2 there is a sight to behold. So Taylor Zweigert, for the 3rd time today, will grab a bat, an F9 and a walk in this game. 1 gone for Southeast of Saline, looking to get through another inning unscathed, but they are running out of at-bats on the other side. Got to get something on the board in this 1-0 ball game. That ball is lifted up. Samuelson drifts over, as does McFadden, and this time McFadden will glove it for the 2nd out of the inning. That's a big one. You feel like you get through that first 4, right? Haney, Liggett, Wendy, and Zweigert. It's still a great rest of the lineup, but those are the bats that, boy, it is terrifying to have to face that group.
You can take a breath. It's not a deep breath because we've talked about this lineup 1 through 9, but it's a breath, right? Refocus. Now you have 2 outs. Get yourself out of the inning. Get your offense back up.
First pitch to Paige Hyman, gets back to the backstop there. We've seen that backstop. It is hard padding. So anything that does get back there is going to bounce right back to the catcher. In that case, it's Donnelly, but it's still more than enough for Wendy to move up and take second.
And that worked to Southeast's advantage in the game on Wednesday, right? It came off the backstop, and it ended up being an out by 7 feet at home plate. The ball came off so hard, and Southeast played it perfectly.
Hyman digs in. Next pitch on the way. That one a strike on the outer half. Every team that Southeast has played at some point during the game has had one play where they've panicked. And you just don't know if Silver Lake is ever going to panic. That's one thing that this team does not typically do. 1-1, swing and a miss, tipped back into the mitt. And the count is 1-2.
That pitch from Zerflew that time, Tyler, was so pretty. It started out, it was almost sweeping across the plate. Started out inside, ended up on the outside corner, and I think it might have even been foul-tipped a little bit, but still landed in glove.
1-2 to Hyman. She tried it again. This one just misses outside, but boy, I love that. You go right back to the well, and you try to get Hyman to chase that. Instead, it's 2-2. Zerflew trying to record another out to end another inning. She comes close. That's that changeup. Tyler Smith told me, and I agree. I mean, there's so much of a velocity difference on that changeup that you can almost expect the fastball recock the bat and go after it a second time. But, boy, she had Hyman way out in front. Another 2-2. Ooh, looked good. But that is the outside pitch that Zerflew's just not been getting today, and the count is full.
Yeah, a lot of times you can see a change of velocity of 15 miles an hour between a fastball and the changeup of these pitchers.
Here comes a payoff. It is spoiled, and we will do it again. You brought it up earlier, but Silver Lake stranded runners at the corners in the first. They stranded them loaded in the third, a runner at second in the fourth. Trying to avoid repeating that here in the fifth. Zerflew's payoff pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. And Southeast of Saline will strand another runner in scoring position as the Lady Trojan Bats come back up here for their half of the fifth. We'll step away. We're back in just a bit. You're watching coverage of the 3A state title match. It's brought to you by Dr. Andrew Westbrook at Maury Clinic Sports Medicine and the Bennington State Bank.
At Maury Clinic Sports Medicine, we are available when you need us most. I'm Dr. Andrew Westbrook, and I am the sports medicine physician at Maury Clinic. I see patients of all ages and help them come back stronger than ever. From broken bones to joint pain, my team and I are committed to help you do more. For those with sports injuries, come see us at our sports medicine walk-in clinic Monday and Thursday mornings from 8 to 9 a.m. Prevent, recover, and strengthen so you can perform your best. Maury Clinic Sports Medicine. Make your move with confidence.
Welcome back in. It's coverage of the 3A state title matchup. Tyler Henry alongside Devin Haney. And Southeast of Saline for the first time this postseason, second time this postseason, is going to the bench. And it's Carly Zerflew who will lead off the inning for the Lady Trojans. And Devin, I love this move. She is realistically their fourth or fifth best hitter on the year, but when she's out there pitching, they typically let her just do that. But your back's to the wall. You got to have her out there. And here comes Carly Zerflew for her second or third, depending on how many she got in the game against Harrington. It's her first at bat at state, let's say that. Zerflew facing Riley Moeller. The Lady Trojans need her. She bats for Peyton Merrill. And boy, yeah, you see, Moeller, I think, knew she wanted one up to try to drive.
Her and Tyler Smith having a good laugh about that. It's been a while since she's seen a pitch that didn't come out of her hand.
Zerflew has been great at the plate this year. We don't talk enough about it because she doesn't bat a ton. She will pop this up and falls behind 0-2. But Carly Zerflew this year in her junior campaign, batting .308, slugging .692. She has 8 hits. 3 of them are for home runs. Another is for a double. And she has 12 RBI in those 8 hits. Right now she is trying to set the table for Southeast of Saline. She is behind 0-2. Moeller looking to put her away. Here comes that 0-2 pitch. It's up and out. And an easy take for Zerflew. The other thing with Zerflew, if she gets on base, they're going to put a pinch runner out there for her. She is here as a batter. That's really all that she has to focus on here is finding her way aboard. Moeller brings home the 1-2. It is way outside, and the count is even. These pitching duels are always fun to watch because you know what the opposing pitcher wants to throw. You're inside their head a little bit because they think like you do. 2-2. Let's see if Moeller goes after her here. Zerflew's first state plate appearance. And she cuts through it for strike 3. That is just the second strikeout of the game for Moeller. And it brings up Madeline McFadden with one away.
I love the placement by Tyler Smith. Just come with what's coming up after that. if she gets on, you're cooking. You're still okay here. You still have bottom of the order, Heinrich's on deck. You still have, this has been a dangerous part of the lineup today for Southeast. They just have not been able to get across home plate.
Heinrich in the on-deck circle. McFadden trying to find her way aboard here. First pitch to her, misses upstairs, and the count goes to 1-0. You're not going to get free bases with Riley Moeller in the circle, at least not at State. She walked the leadoff hitter, Reese Heinrich. She's not walked another since. She's only struck out 2, but a lot of weak contact in the mix. 1-0 McFadden. She brings it down, but not far enough, and the count to 2-0 to start things off here on the Southeast sophomore. Madeline McFadden on the season, batting .341, 14 hits. Rollover hitter in the 9-hole, the 2-0. Called a strike on the inside part of the plate. Must have clipped the front corner before it found its way into the batter's box. And it's 2-1 on McFadden. Southeast just looking for a rally starter, just trying to get somebody on base without 2 outs. That misses high, and McFadden finds herself up 3-1. What an opportunity for Madeline McFadden. Pressure on in the circle. Riley Moeller, the freshman for Silver Lake, trying to get a big second out before facing Heinrich for the 3rd time today. The 3-1. Fouled away, and the count is full. Fifth inning action in the 3A state championship game. Madeline McFadden with a 3-2 count. Here comes the payoff pitch. It is slapped into right field. That is down. McFadden's got to get on her horse, but she is in safely. And Southeast of Saline's got the tying run aboard with 1 out for Reese Heinrich.
Top of the order up here, Tyler. Now you're cooking, right? You have Heinrich up. You have Samuelson on deck. Bottom of the 5th yesterday was the money inning for Southeast of Saline. The only difference is Heinrich came up with 2 outs, ended up walking, stealing second, advancing on a play that was mishandled by Jeff West in the outfield, and that was the winning run on Wednesday for Reese Heinrich and Southeast of Saline. Now they have a little bit more firepower to go with that.
First pitch, Heinrich's bunting, and I mean, it's never a sack bunt with Reese Heinrich, right? If she's putting it down, she's putting it down to get a hit, but yeah, I mean, you saw Harris was not fully expecting the bunt down there by the line. Now they've seen it. The count's 0-1. And we'll see whether or not Southeast tries to have Heinrich lay it down again or if they let her swing away. Plenty of real estate out in right center field. Corners might shade in just a touch here. And only 1 gone here for Southeast of Saline. 0-1 to Heinrich. She does try to bunt it, and now she's in an 0-2 hole. This has been Southeast softball all season long. You know Heinrich can leg it out, but boy, risking getting that second out here is tough, especially with a player as good as what Heinrich is, batting .478 on the year. Moeller is ahead 0-2. Second time she's had that count this inning. Here comes the pitch. Heinrich squares to bunt, pulls it back. And that I don't understand, because if you bunt it foul, that's the end of the at-bat. That might have been a miscommunication between Heinrich and Tyler Smith there. I cannot imagine we'll see that again. McFadden aboard at first. She represents the game-tying run. It's a 1-0 Silver Lake lead. Here comes the 1-2. Heinrich does lay it down. It will not roll foul, and there is a booted throw by Harris. She throws down to second. It's into center field. Reese Heinrich just laid down a bunt with 2 strikes. And the Lady Trojans have the tying and potential leading runs both aboard.
That is ultimate confidence of your coach to player right there. Tyler Smith believing in his sophomore that she could put one down. Tyler, not only did she put one down, she put a ball down that died in front of home plate. There was never a play there to be made. Again, pressure, pressure, pressure. Silver Lake picked it up, knew they were on limited time, mishandled the ball.
And here comes Kaya Samuelson. She struck one straight to Haney in her second at bat. She also laid down a sac bunt that got Heinrich to second. This is the first time today she can cleanly swing away. First pitch to Kaya Samuelson. It gets by Swigert. Everyone moves up a station. That's the first ball we've seen get by Swigert today.
Yeah, it was high, and it just went off the tip of her glove. And right now, we're seeing Silver Lake for the first time really show some chinks in the armor on defense. Southeast of Saline advanced the runners third and second now, one out, and one of their most dangerous, timely hitters at the plate.
And here comes, I believe, Russ Cobb to have a chat with Riley Moeller. We brought it up. Every team once per game in the playoffs is panicked against Southeast of Saline. There's no way Swigert was expecting a bunt with 2 strikes. She picked it up. I think a good clean throw probably gets Heinrich down the line, but it slipped out of her hands. And, I mean, a wet field today, you put that thing in the dirt, it dies. And now you've got 2 in scoring position, and I would argue your best batter at the plate.
Well, and the third baseman for Silver Lake was charging the plate on all those bunt situations. Not that time. And again, even if she was, I don't know that it would have mattered, Tyler, because that ball, when you script the definition of a perfect bunt, the catcher didn't get there in time. The third baseman didn't get there in time. Those two kind of like were stepping off of each other. Whose ball is it? By the time it was picked up by the third baseman for the Eagles, it was too late. Heinrich is already on first.
And you know that Silver Lake is not going to go to the bullpen. There's no chance. This game belongs, as it should, to Riley Moeller. Kaya Samuelson, what an opportunity for Southeast's hottest postseason bat. Tying run aboard at third, go ahead at second. And the 1-0 misses high for ball 2. And this is the part of the lineup you can't just put her at first and hope for the best. You got to deal with Solon Donnelly next. This is the best chance Southeast has had to get on base since back in the first inning. 2-0 to Samuelson on the ground. Throw to first. It gets in the dirt. Everyone holds up. That is a big out recorded for Silver Lake, and it will fall to Annabelle Soul to bring in the game's first run for Southeast.
Hard hit ball by Samuelson. That was a perfect defensive play by Silver Lake. You look the runner back at third, you hold her just momentarily, then you go get the out at first. Now they have 2 outs with runners on second and third.
2 infield pop-outs for Annabelle Soul today, both to second base. This is her third at-bat for Southeast. Moeller brings it home. It's inside, but it's called a strike as it clips the corner and the count to 0-1. It was a single for McFadden, then a bunt single for Heinrich. They both moved up on a passed ball. 0-1 pitch from Moeller. Lifted up. It should be an easy out as Wendy comes in, and she gloves it. And this time it's Silver Lake, who strands 2 Lady Trojans in scoring position. Still a 1-0 Silver Lake lead as we go to the 6th. You're watching the state championship game in Class 3A right here on the Salina Post Sports Network.
The Bennington State Bank proudly supports local sports and wants each student to know that their hard work and talent is noticed and appreciated. At Bennington State Bank, they care about local communities and are committed to fostering long-term relationships through the delivery of excellent customer service, integrity, and fairness. From helping local businesses to supporting community youth and nonprofits to helping you purchase your dream home or invest in your future, Bennington State Bank is here to help. Give them a call to experience exceptional banking with hometown service. Bennington State Bank, your trusted hometown bank. Member FDIC.
Walking back in here on the Salina Post Sports Network, Tyler Henry joined here by Devin Haney. And boy, this has been a low-scoring affair. You wonder if you're Southeast, how many more opportunities like that you're going to get. And if you're Silver Lake, you want to get some additional run support here, but you got Southeast down to their final 6 outs. I mean, this is what the Lady Eagles wanted, and you wonder if that dam is going to break for a Southeast team that's not been shut out once this season.
Yeah, and if you're the Lady Trojans of Southeast, Tyler, you just got to make sure that you don't let that, what just happened on offense, deflate you. You had a really good chance to score some runs there or a run to tie this game, which would be in a premium, right? We're in a 1-0 game. 1 run is gold right now, but they didn't do it. Now you just cannot let your head fall down. You've got to keep your chin up. You cannot let what just happened on offense deflate you and make it worse here with still a lot of softball left to go.
Well, the crazy thing, this game has not featured an RBI. Silver Lake got their 1 run on 4 walks in the 3rd inning. So far today, they have a whopping 3 hits. They're all singles. You know the lineup is capable of more than that, as Reese Heinrich is headed to the dugout for Southeast of Saline, and And I'm not sure what the reasoning is here. It looks like the third base umpire told her she had to go in and get something taken care of, as the Southeast coaching staff and the training staff are out there to take a look. But think about this for Southeast of Saline. First of all, you want to get out of this inning clean. You've got the bottom 4 spots in the lineup coming to bat. You do not want to face the top if you don't have to until the 7th. And remember, Southeast is the home team, so they've got at least 6 at-bats guaranteed. But it will be the bottom 6 spots in their lineup, Devin, that are guaranteed at least one more plate appearance. And that means somebody is going to have to step up for Southeast that is not re-signed Rick Kaya Samuelson or Annabelle Soul if they want to get those 3 back up.
Yeah, I'm not sure what is going on with Reese. Southeast has been in the field warming up for quite some time. And there's a batter for Silver Lake standing next to the box, and Riley Moeller, she's waiting. And Southeast of Saline's infielders all in the circle. Their outfielders standing on the big Jayhawk out in center field, waiting on Reese Heinrich to come out of the dugout. The umpires here giving her time to take care of whatever needs to be attended to, but it looked like maybe she got something in her eye, I'm guessing. She's messing with her face and around the eyes, so I don't know. Maybe some of the dirt here in this all-dirt infield at Arocha Park kicked up and got her on that last throw down to second. I don't know, just guessing, but she's back out there, got the mask back on. We're ready to roll, looks like.
Could be, yeah. Not 100% sure what the deal is there, but either way, we are ready to rock and roll. And for Southeast of Saline, coming out here, for Silver Lake, it'll be Riley Moeller, McKenna Harris, and Audrey Kirk. The 6, 7, and 8-hole hitters due up for the Lady Eagles. First pitch on the way. That one is in there for a called strike. And you just hope that Southeast can get a run on the board, too. If for no other reason that even if you get beat by Silver Lake, you want to get beat on a hit, right? You don't want it to be, again, those walks that happened back in the 3rd inning. Right now, that's the only difference on the scoreboard. Heinrich pulls the string, or rather, Zerflu pulls the string, and Moeller's way out ahead. Riley Moeller today, a pair of infield pop-outs, 1 to second, 1 to shortstop. She will dig back in here with an 0-2 count. Zerflu looking to put her down. Pitch on the way. It's hit out into that Bermuda triangle, and it's down for a hit. Another leadoff single here for Silver Lake, back-to-back innings that they've had the leadoff runner aboard, and it brings up McKenna Harris with nobody out.
Talk about a perfect ball placement. There's not a lot of areas like that in this Southeast defense with the speed that they possess, but that one, boy, just off the Jayhawks' beak, so to speak, was just kind of out of reach for everybody.
McKenna Harris standing in here trying to get something else on the board for Silver Lake. She will take the first pitch high. I want to thank Cale Sharp at Shelter Insurance for helping us bring you today's game. Be sure to visit Cale at his new location at 901 East Prescott in Salina. McKenna Harris came into this game 6 of 16 in the postseason. Cuts over the top of another good pitch for Carly Zerflu, and the count goes to 1-1. Silver Lake's had so many opportunities. Devin, we keep throwing the number out there, but they've stranded 7. 5 of those have been in scoring position today. Here, trying to get a bunt down. That's a good one. It finds its way by. Everybody's going to be safe. Turning for third is Moeller, and she is in. Boy, normally you don't want a bunt to go that heavy, but I mean, that is the other kind of perfect bunt that you could have, and it's runners at the corners, nobody out.
Yeah, that was a cat and mouse game between Carly Zerflu and that ball. That ball just was fast enough to get by her. She was on a change of direction, of course, after she pitched. The ball went behind her towards second base. It was too far in for Veda Durfee to come in and charge and get the play. Zerflu was giving chase, and 2 really, really great placed balls. They're 1 on a hit, 1 on a bunt for Silver Lake. Has them cooking now. Eagles on the corners with nobody out.
And we have a courtesy runner coming in over at first base, coming in to run for McKenna Harris. And for the Silver Lake Lady Eagles, never a bad idea to get more speed on the base passes. Peyton May, the DP yesterday, will come in. She will run, and she will take off on the first pitch, and she's in. Catcher's indifference, whatever you want to call it. It's 2 crucial runners in scoring position and nobody out. And now Southeast of Saline in some real trouble. Audrey Kirk at the plate, 0 for 2 today with a pair of infield pop-outs. 1-0 pitch, up and in, and the count goes to 2-0. So it's Moeller at third, it's May at second, and it's Carly Zerflew with another jam to try to pitch her way out of. This one on the line, that's going to score at least one run. McFadden comes in, scoops it up, and throws to third. It's an RBI single for Audrey Kirk, and Silver Lake leads 2-0 in this state championship game.
The way this game has gone, and I expect the way it will continue to go, Tyler, that run is huge, and I don't know that Silver Lake is done yet. They still have, again, reset. You score a run, runners on the corners, nobody out. And they are right now doing some damage to southeast of Saline. 2 runs in a game like this is big.
First pitch up and out. That gets by Donnelly. Runner coming to the plate. And that's another in for Silver Lake. Another runner turns for third southeast. Oh, did not get her. Welchel had the ball in her glove, but sliding under the tag was Audrey Kirk. And all of a sudden, the wheels starting to come off just a little bit for the Lady Trojans. It just feels like things have been boiling, and it's starting to boil over a little bit here as Silver Lake finally cashing in on these opportunities. And there's still nobody out here for Mariah Cortan, and you've got the top of the lineup due up next.
Yeah, bang play there at third. Just the leg came in, it looked like underneath the tag, and the umpire right on it called it safe. So still no outs, as you said. Silver Lake doing what they need to do here to just have a big inning, and got to probably be smelling state championship right now if you're Silver Lake. You know your defense and your pitching's been good enough in this game, and you just went through what was southeast of Saline's biggest threat of the day, and now you're scoring runs on the backside of it here in the top of the 6th.
You got to love this. Tyler Smith, he didn't go out to argue with the umpires. He went out to talk to his girls, trying to settle everyone down. But it is a 3-0 deficit. Mariah Cortan at the plate. She's already got an infield single today. She'll swing at the first pitch she sees. It's fouled away down the right field line, and you just feel like that wave of momentum. Boy, the shift. Southeast had the potential go-ahead runs at second and third. Couldn't get them in. That's a little momentum. And then Silver Lake now scoring 2 runs. Even more momentum as, boy, Cortan swinging out of her cleats on an off-speed pitch, and the count goes to 1-2. Not for nothing. Get to that after this one, too. It misses up high. In 108 innings pitched, Carly Zerflew has surrendered 6 earned runs this year. Silver Lake has 3 in this game. 2-2, swing and a miss, although the runner takes off. Here comes another run for Silver Lake. And even a strikeout nets the Lady Eagles a run, as a drop third strike allows Cortan to reach and brings in Audrey Kirk. And all of a sudden, it's 4-0 Silver Lake.
Yeah, Silver Lake right now just seemingly having everything go their way. And for the Southeast, of course, it feels like the other side of that, right? You're on the hot side of the pillow right now. Just everything. You get a strikeout there, you do what you need to do, but the ball got by. Runner standing on first right now, and it ended up scoring another run.
Runner goes to second. Heinrich gets the tag down. That's one away, as Riley Donnelly does gun down Mariah Cortan. You also got, look, I know Silver Lake's pitching's been great. I know their defense has been great. It's only a 4-run game. Southeast is down to their final 6 outs, but you got to get yourself out of this. You can't give up anything else, especially not now with the bases empty. You feel like you go out, you get these 2 outs, you get your bats up, and you get a chance to chip away at it and try to get that top of the lineup back up. But Southeast bats good 1 through 9 as well. If you're looking for a silver lining, you know they're capable of it. They've just got to go out and do it. Zerflew facing Haney for a 3rd time today. Haney pulls the bat back and takes a strike, and the count is 1-2.
Just a mild weather update here for you. We have lost the sun in that storm that I talked about that was west-southwest of Topeka, moving this way.
1-2, and Haney slaps it into left field, and the inning continues here for Silver Lake. That's one of those you just chuck the bat at the ball and hope for the best, and the best is a single for Haney. But you mentioned weather rolling in, Devin?
Yep, maybe some raindrops, about 115, 120 now.
All right. Sailor Liggett has reached all 3 times today. Make it 4 as Zerflew plunks her, and it's runners at first and second now for the heart of the order. Savannah Wendy and Taylor Zweigert with a chance to blow this game even further open.
Tough situation here for Southeast. You just got to keep grinding. Giving up 3 runs now, you're in a 4-0 game. It seems like outs are impossible to get. You have 1 out and runners standing on first and second, but it's just something you got to grind through and see what you're going to do here. You still have 6 outs left to your credit, so who knows? I mean, this is a funny game, right? That's why we play it. Baseball and softball are just games that you just don't know from batter to batter what's going to go on. But Southeast needs to put their heads down and get through this inning.
Pitch to Savannah Wendy in there for a called strike. Zerflu still plugging along. An 0-1 count. The heart of the order has actually not been the ones to do the damage today. They'd love a chance to do that here, but Wendy and Zweigert, for the most part, have been controlled by Zerflu. She's going to have to go through that pair again. 0-1 in for another strike, and Zerflu's up 0-2. Carly Zerflu back in the circle, a pitch to waste if she wants. She'll throw outside, and the count is 1-2 on Savannah Wendy. Didn't have a chance to look at the bracket. Devin, you know who Rock Creek is playing in the 4A state championship game later today? Is it Fort Scott? Why really put you on the spot there?
Yeah, Fort Scott is here. Well, you caught me off guard because I don't think it's Rock Creek.
Oh, okay. You may be right about that. I remember seeing them here the other day, but that would have been for a semifinal, I believe, against the aforementioned Fort Scott. Of course, this game, as you mentioned, should be okay to get in, but we are a little worried about that next game coming up.
4A game might be a little rough.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Another offering off speed, strike 3. Savannah Wendy down looking. Because of the drop third strike, that is actually the 4th strikeout of the day, and southeast of Saline is 1 good out away from wrapping up this inning, and it will be Fort Scott and Wamego at the wrong school from the Manhattan area. That's your 4A state title matchup. It'll happen after this one. Taylor Zweigert at the plate, pitching the dirt throw down to third, not in time. Both runners advancing 1 bag further. Haney swipes third, Liggett swipes second.
With Wamego and Rock Creek, you kind of like even throw Chapman in that mix that made state. Pick your team from the NCKL, right?
Yeah, seriously. It is a ridiculous conference.
Also, Wamego, just kind of to intertwine it with this game, they have given Silver Lake 2 losses this year.
And I'll give you one more. Southeast, 1 loss. It was Clay Center, another NCKL school.
Look at us going 6 degrees at Kevin Bacon.
Oh, my gosh. 2-0 pitch. Misses high. Now, this is the same exact situation that Southeast was in back in the 3rd inning. It's not the worst thing in the world. If you do walk Zweigert, you get the force at any bag. That would include home plate. And you face Paige Hyman. And that's exactly what Southeast is going to have to do. It's a 4-pitch walk to Taylor Zweigert. And they're loaded up for Paige Hyman. And you just feel like this at-bat might be what the game hinges on. A 4-run deficit, that's doable. This game gets broken open, you just don't know.
Take a chance to remind you that bringing you Southeast of Saline athletics all season long, the Southeast of Saline Education Foundation, of course, L&L Advisors, Frisbee Construction, along with Salina Ortho, and Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories. Just a few of the sponsors supporting Southeast of Saline all season long.
What an opportunity for Paige Hyman, who gets to bat with the bases loaded for the 2nd time today. She will foul this off. The first time up, it was the RBI walk. Yep, that's how you score it. As she brought in, at the time, the game's only run. Silver Lake has put 3 more on the board. It's felt like more than that, but still just 3 across here. 0-1 from Zerflu. Nasty-looking changeup drops in for a strike, and Southeast is 1 pitch away from giving themselves a chance on the other side. They are down to their final 6 outs. They've got to keep this to 4. Zerflu, 0-2. Popped up out to left. It is foul, and boy, that would have scored 3 runs had it dropped in fair. Southeast staying alive here. The count still 0-2 to Paige Hyman.
Ball dropped about a foot off the left field foul line. That drops fair. We might be putting this one away.
Zerflew, though, with a chance to bounce back, trying to strain the bases loaded for the second time today. The 0-2, and she will do just that. Southeast of Saline does manage to get out of the inning, but not before Silver Lake tacks on 3 crucial runs, and they will take a 4-0 lead into the home half of the 6th. Lady Trojans have work to do. When we come back, you're watching the 3A state championship game right here on the Salina Post Sports Network.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you, so why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
For a free personal protection review, contact Shelter Agent Cale Sharp in Salina.
Welcome back in here to Rock Chalk Park in Lawrence, Kansas. Tyler Henry alongside you. And boy, what a game this has been. Southeast up to bat. But before we get into that, some more folks we'd like to thank here from Gypsum.
Yeah, great sponsors. Boy, we couldn't do what we do without them. Winnell Garrettson, Salina Homes, also the Kniper Agency of Farmers Insurance, Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine, Mary Maids, along with the Appliance Center.
It'll be Riley Donnelly, Ashley Welchel, and Veda Durfee, the heart of the order, to lead off for Southeast of Saline. The only other batters who are guaranteed ABs in this one, Hannah Teal, Carly Zerflew, and Madeline McFadden. Southeast of Saline, they're either walking out of here with their second runner-up finish ever, or we're about to witness something really special. First pitch misses upstairs to Donnelly. She's 1 for 2 with a single today, and also the only player on this roster that Southeast of Saline has watched graduate this year. Everybody else will have a chance to come back next season. 1-0 to Donnelly, high and outside. And, boy, you feel like Moeller is reaching back for a little something extra here. She seems fired up.
Yeah, you have to be. Your team just gave you 3 runs, 3 insurance runs in a 1-0 game, made it 4-0 now in the top of the 6th. And her mind has to be along the same side of the track, the parallel lines of Southeast, right? You need 6 outs. Southeast needs 4 runs with 6 outs.
2-0. That one across for a strike. And, boy, you also feel like she spent so much time in the dugout. I mean, that was a really long inning, so she has to come out and kind of find her rhythm and routine, and you wonder if that pitch there for a strike might have helped her settle in. Time is called. Riley Donnelly on the year, ran through it earlier. The lone senior batting .333, slugging .462. 26 hits for her. Tips this foul to the screen. The count goes even, 2-2. Donnelly, like I said, 1 for 2, a single, and an infield pop out. Everybody's contributed at one point or another for this Lady Trojan softball team throughout the course of the season. But they need base runners, and they need them now. The 2-2. Is popped up. It will stay on the infield, and it's gloved by Moeller. And the Lady Trojans down to their final 5 outs. Ashley Welchel, the next to grab a bat. She was good in the regular season, good in the postseason as well. She is 0 for 2 today with a pair of outfield flyouts. And she will come back for a word here as the umpires are huddling up. And, boy, you just hope there was no... Well, I'm not going to use that word, but...
No, I'll take your attention away from
Sure.
it. Apex shears, driveways, highways, everything. You see apex shears all over the place. Remember to slow down when you see road construction going on. Those guys are putting their lives on the line, so we have better highways, better roads. Apex shears helping out, bringing us Southeast of Saline Sports. Also, Can Equip and Everhart Precision Ag.
I'm not sure what that was about, but they re-established the fact that that was an out. I don't know what else it could have been. It was a clean catch for Moeller, and either way, it's 1 down here for Ashley Welchel. Pitch on the way. That's in there for a called strike to Welchel. Southeast has been an offensive machine this season. They have only been held to this margin. Well, they've never been held to this margin before, but the teams that have had the most success against their lineup, as this one is fouled back to the screen. Heston lost to them in a 1-0 game. Clay Center, it was 2-0, and then a loss 9-1. Both games against Chapman were close, a 2-1 and 1-0 win for Southeast. El Dorado held them to 3 runs. In the postseason, Jefferson West had it best, but still lost 2-1. This one in the dirt, the count goes to 1-2 on Welchel, who's staying patient out there, and she has to. Southeast of Saline. Got to get somebody on here. 1-2 to Welchel. Struck well, but right at Liggett. And it's 2 down in the 6th. Boy, anywhere else, that's a single. But it's an out here. And it's Veda Durfee, who is 2 for 2 today, trying to go 3 for 3 and start something for Southeast.
Veda's had a good day today, not only at the plate, but also in the field. She's been really solid.
Let's see how much more magic pixie dust Veda Durfee has, although in Durfee's case, we call it something else. It's talent. She is a freshman. She's been excellent this year. She'll take the first pitch on the inside corner. 4-1. Would imagine there won't be much more meddling with the lineup at the bottom. Hannah Teal in the on-deck circle as the 1-0 is in there for a strike. And then I would imagine Zerflu will keep her spot in the lineup, and then Madeline McFadden. There's really nobody else on the bench you're going to bring in for an at-bat. If you want to get it done, it's got to be the ones you got. 1-1 from Moeller. Struck well but foul. That'll find its way off the bullpen fence. And the count to 1-2 here on Durfee. Durfee was 2 for 11 in the postseason coming into this game, but she's 2 for 2, a single and a double. She's been stranded aboard twice today. Southeast has had opportunities to score as well. They've left 3 runners out there. Actually, 4 runners out there, 3 of them in scoring position. 1-2 from Moeller. Low and inside. Tough take, but a good take. And Durfee, that's that patience I mentioned earlier. Very impressive to see her lay off of that one. Most freshmen in a position like that would have swung away. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Moeller's fired up, as she should be. And that is going to wrap up the 6th. Silver Lake with one more chance to pick up some insurance runs. Coverage of today's 3A state championship game brought to you by Dr. Andrew Westbrook at Mallory Clinic Sports Medicine and by Bennington State Bank.
Take the next step in your career with an MBA from Kansas Wesleyan and the Saline County MBA Scholarship. This opportunity is valid for anyone living or working in Saline County and is good for $100 off per MBA credit hour, lowering the total cost for tuition to under $12,000. Don't wait. Learn more today at kwu.edu/MBA. That's kwu.edu/MBA.
Welcome back into Rock Chalk Park. Before we go any further, I want to thank a few more folks that have made coverage of Southeast of Saline athletics possible here on Salina Post all season long.
Isaacson Truck Line, along with Phillips Seed Farms, the Bank of Tesket. Also keeping us going here with the shirts and the swag. Messenger Total Promotions, downtown Salina. Suburban Appliance, and, as we said earlier, Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine, along with Bennington State Bank.
It'll be the same part of the lineup that got it done in the 6th to lead it off here for Silver Lake. Another shot down the line. It falls foul for Riley Moeller. Moeller led it off with a single, then it was a bunt single for McKenna Harris, a single for Audrey Kirk, a dropped third strike for Mariah Cortan, and then a single by Kaylin Haney. And by the time you tally all that up, 3 runs had come in for Silver Lake, and they have now taken a commanding 4-0 lead. They've left even more opportunities out there. They've stranded the bases loaded twice. And you go and look at the numbers. I mean, this game could be very different. This game could be over already, as they have left 10 runners on base, and of those 10, they've left 7 in scoring position today. And the credit there has to go to Carly Zerflu. I know she's had some pitches I'm sure she wishes she could take back, but ultimately she has been good today when called upon. Drifting over is Heinrich. That is foul. Another ball that just about dropped in, and Southeast playing with fire down the foul lines.
Silver Lake right now, I mean, what do you really have to lose, right? You're up 4-0. You've played solid defense, solid pitching all game long. Just kind of add on to this, maybe a couple of long hit balls if you can get to them. They really don't have much. They're just playing with house money right now here in the top of the 7th.
And they got to be feeling loose. I mean, like you said, coming out, you just need to record 3 more outs. You got the bottom third of the lineup due up for Southeast of Saline. Here it's a pop-up. This one will stay on the infield. Ashley Welchel will glove it. And that is 1 gone for Southeast. McKenna Harris, the next up. Her bunt single, the only time she's reached base today. Aside from that, a couple of infield groundouts. And that was the bunt single that just rolled and rolled and rolled right past the glove of Carly Zerflew. Nothing she could do about it. Here she takes a cut and takes strike one. Zerflew back in the circle. Brings home the 0-1 pitch. And it misses. Low and inside. It's been a wild year across the board for our local high schools. As the 0-1 misses at the knees. No, called strike. But boy, what a year it's been for Salina South, Salina Central, Abilene, Chapman, southeast of Saline, Ellsworth, Minneapolis, Bennington, El Saline, and Solomon. Seen a lot of really cool stuff happen this year. A lot of it on the Salina Post Sports Network, including a couple of state championship games. This is the third state title game that we've been able to broadcast this year. 2-2, skied up. Teal is in, and she will make the catch for out number 3. But what a blessing it's been to spend a hefty dose of our year with you guys. Everybody watching at home, whether you're a fan of Southeast, Silver Lake, or anyone else, grateful to have you with us. Glad you decided to spend a portion of your Saturday with us here in Lawrence on the Salina Post Sports Network. Audrey Kirk fouls the first pitch off. She's 1 for 3 today with an RBI single, a run scored, and a pair of infield pop-outs.
You don't imagine there's some Southeast supporters at State Track right now watching, do you?
Probably a few, I would imagine. And hey, don't forget, you can also check out on Salina Post live State Track results from all of our area schools. Kind of an expanded area for State Track. And boy, several southeast of Saline Trojan and Lady Trojan athletes have already notched themselves top 10 finishes at state.
Wade Castleman's last hurrah before he hangs it up.
Riding off into the sunset as only Wade Castleman can.
Still a great Southeast crowd here, though, at Rock Chalk Park. And, boy, just you imagine what it would be like if they weren't kind of a split audience today between State Track and State Softball. This game was not supposed to be today. It was supposed to be, of course, yesterday. So everybody would have been free to go to the championship day of State Track. But Mother Nature would have it otherwise.
They certainly would. And, hey, don't forget, on the other side, it'll be Hannah Teal, likely Carly Zerflew, and Madeline McFadden to lead it off. They've got to get through Audrey Kirk first, and they will do so on the 6th strikeout of the game for Carly Zerflew. It's 3 up, 3 down in the top of the 7th. Southeast of Saline down to their final 3 outs. We'll have the bottom of the 7th for you when we return. It's the 3A state championship game right here on the Salina Post Sports Network.
4 walls and a roof can make a house, but a home, that's where life happens. First steps, backyard birthdays, morning coffee, sunsets on the porch. Home isn't something you buy, it's something you feel. And when it's right, you just know. For 22 years, Dan Goebel has helped people in Salina find that feeling. And now, he's here to help you. Your home is out there. Dan Goebel knows the way. Call 785-819-1904 or visit Salina Homes to find your way home.
To the bottom of the 7th we go. Southeast of Saline needs a miracle. Devin, they've got the tools to get it done, but they're down to their final 3 outs. They have a 4-run hole to get out of, and they are trying to avoid losing just their 2nd game this season. They would snap a 23-game winning streak, and they would also forfeit the right to their first ever state title. They've got a great team. They've got just one senior. You feel like they're going to be back, but they want to go get this done now. And here's their last chance to do it.
Got to be loose, got to have fun with it, right? Last 3 outs of the season, potentially, and boy, just have some fun with it, see if you can get a couple across the plate here.
Hannah Teal, 0 for 2 today, but a good postseason run that she's had. She'll lead it off for Southeast in the 7th, and the first pitch misses up and away. And boy, on the other side, you've got Riley Moeller, whose career is just getting started. She's a freshman, and she might go out there and pick up the game win, and really every game win throughout the postseason. She has been the starting pitcher in every single postseason game for Silver Lake this year. 1-0 the count. Teal digs in. Pitch on the way. That's inside, and the count starts off at 2-0.
Not being devil's advocate here, but you almost would have liked to see Teal wear that.
Yeah.
I mean, she jumped out of the way, and boy, I know it's easier for me to say it standing up here, but man, get the base. Get the base.
2-0 the count. Pitch on the way. That one will find its way across for a strike. I mean, you think about it, even if you play a fall sport next year, you've got 4 months to let that bruise heal. Teal digs in, though, a 2-1 count. Moeller trying to find it once again. Here comes that 2-1 pitch. It is lifted down the left field line. It's caught by Wendy. And the Silver Lake Lady Eagles are just 2 outs away from another 3A state title.
I mean, you say you have that long for the bruise to heal, but talked to a friend of mine yesterday that his son played in a third-place game yesterday. Last night they were playing at Legends in Kansas City.
You're right.
So
yeah.
It's no rest for the wicked, right?
Here's Carly Zerflew. This is just the second plate appearance of her state run. Obviously, she did bat during the opening round game against Harrington, but the first 2 plate appearances that we have seen her take since that quarterfinal regional round. She'll take a pitch in here for a called strike, and the count goes even at 1-1. Running through Zerflew's numbers one more time. Gets on base at a .357 average. Slugging .692. Small sample size, but she has been excellent. Trying to get herself aboard and keep Southeast's title hopes alive. The 1-1, swing and a miss. And the count goes to 1-2. It feels like she's been better than this, but Riley Moeller only has 3 strikeouts so far. She did get Zerflew once. She got Merrill once, so she's got 2 of her 3 strikeouts here from the 8-hole today. 1-2 offering. Fouled back to the screen. Zerflew stays alive.
And her defense around her, other than maybe one misplaced ball, they've been really good. We saw them right from the outstretch just selling out, trying to get outs in the outfield, and it's just carried on from there. They set the tone early.
We've seen some incredible defense, incredible pitching. That's what you expect when you get this far. Moeller needing 2 more outs to wrap up the state title. The 1-2, it's swung on, and it's tipped back to the mitt. And the count will stay at 1-2 as Swigert, boy, she's been good today, but not able to hold on to that one. Southeast of Saline, including this game, only 4 extra base hits in the postseason. That really seemed to dry up, but when you don't give up many runs, you don't have to worry about it. This one skipped in the dirt, and the count goes to 2-2. And let's run you through again. For Southeast, it was a 16-0 win over Harrington, 6-0 over Heston, 3-2 to Wichita Trinity, 7-0 to Lakin, and 2-1 against Jefferson West. They surrendered 3 total runs in their first 5 postseason games coming into the state title match. 4 on the board for Silver Lake. The 2-2, Zerflew fights it off, and we will do it again. You want to do it with just the 1 out here. You feel like if you can just catch a wave, get a little momentum, get the top of the lineup back up, and get the crowd back into it. Both of these sides very quiet in the stands right now. Moeller will bring home a second 2-2 pitch, this at bat, and it's fought off again. Zerflew hanging tough. You know she doesn't want her season to be over here. Carly Zerflew looking for her first hit at state. What a time it would be for it. 2-2. Gets a piece of it, but it's hit out to Wendy, and she will glove it for out number 2. And Southeast of Saline is down to their final out. The last hope is Madeline McFadden. McFadden today should be 2 for 2, but remember, Wendy made that diving catch that robbed what would have been her first. So she's 1 for 2 with a single and a flyout. Riley Moeller is just 1 out away from wrapping up a 3A state title. First pitch up high for ball 1.
Talk about Silver Lake as a whole early on in the broadcast and what they do and all their trophies. Silver Lake's boys yesterday, second. They were runner-up in the state title game in baseball. Girard beat them 6-0 in the championship game.
1-0, fouled back to the screen. The count goes to 1-1. And just to give the numbers again, because they are ridiculous, Silver Lake softball has existed for 36 years. They've been to state 29 times. They've won state 13 times. They've been in the championship game. This is their 4th straight year playing for a state title. They're 0 for 2. They're about to be 1 for 3 if they can wrap it up. And they're 1 pitch away as Madeline McFadden cuts over the top, and the count goes to 1-2. Riley Moeller has been in command all day long. Her crowd will give her a clap of applause. The 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. And the Silver Lake Lady Eagles rule Class 3A once more. It's their 14th state title. And they finally break the back-to-back streak after 2 losses to Frontenac. 4-0 the final. What a year it was for Southeast of Saline. We'll talk more about it after these messages on the Commercial Tire Center post-game report. You got this game right here on the Salina Post Sports Network.
The hours of drills, the pre-dawn workouts, the hundreds of laps. It takes hard work, passion, and drive to do what you love. When you're sidelined by injury, Salina Regional Sports Medicine is just as committed and works just as hard to get you back in the game. Salina Regional Sports Medicine, 785-452-7366. SalinaRegionalSportsMedicine.com.
A smooth ride and safe handling start with a strong suspension. At Commercial Tire Center in Salina, our team provides expert suspension maintenance and repair for both automotive and diesel vehicles. From shocks, struts, and steering to full mechanical service, our certified technicians help extend tire life and keep your vehicle road ready. Whether it's your everyday car or a hardworking diesel truck, count on Commercial Tire Center to keep you moving.
Commercial Tire Centers, where service is everything.
When the time comes to honor a life, Hire Scott Mortuary in Salina is here with care, compassion, and guidance every step of the way. Celebrate memories, cherish family, and find comfort in tradition. Hire Scott Mortuary, celebrating life, embracing legacy.
New Image Audio is offering ceramic tint. If you're sending your child off to school or your wife on a road trip, ceramic tint offers heat rejection up to 90%, privacy in a college town or in the city, helps keep the wear down on the AC system, making your car easier to cool down. Never worry about your kid locking their keys in their car. With Drone Mobile, you can unlock their car from anywhere. Vehicle breakdown in an unknown area, GPS locating helps roadside service find your loved one quickly with the ability to send the vehicle location directly to the rescue squad. New Image Audio, located at 340 South Broadway. Phone calls welcome.
At AJ Honey Farms, the honey is just the beginning. From raw honey and wax melts to happy bee balm and beekeeping gear, they've got everything buzzing with local flavor. Whether you're soothing a sore throat, starting your own hive, or gifting something sweet to a loved one, AJ Honey Farms brings the bees and the kind of sweetness only they can bottle.
This is Alan from AJ Honey Farms right here at 901 North 9th Street in Salina, Kansas. We truly appreciate your continued support and thank you for choosing local.
APAC Kansas Incorporated has been building the heartland from the ground up for over a century. From the supply of aggregate materials, hot mix asphalt, and concrete to the construction of roads and bridges, we do it all. You've seen our trucks, and now we want to hire you. APAC in Salina is growing, and we are hiring for all positions. From truck drivers to mechanics, general laborers, and construction, APAC has your next career. For more details, visit the job links page at salinapost.com. Great pay and benefits, APAC is an equal opportunity employer.
Welcome back in here on the Salina Post Sports Network. It's the Commercial Tire Center post-game report as we wrap it up. It's a 4-0 win for the Silver Lake Lady Eagles. They snap Southeast's 23-game winning streak. They are the 3A state champs, and they will close out the season a thoroughly impressive 28-4. Boy, what a year it's been for both of these teams. And obviously for Silver Lake, I mean, this is just another chapter in a very long, very thorough journey that they have had. It's their 14th ever state title. For Southeast of Saline, only 2 losses this year. They lost earlier this season to Clay Center. At the time, it dropped them down to 3-1. Then they rattled off that 23-game winning streak. Their only other loss comes here to state, and it comes to Silver Lake by a final score of 4-0. And Devin, before we get into any of the numbers, I just felt like Southeast kind of, there were plenty of opportunities for both sides. We watched both teams, leave runners on base, but for SES, you feel like this is a team that's got a great chance to come back and make another run next year.
Oh, absolutely. One senior that comes back, you always talk about the experience, right? How you feel. We talk about pressure during the game, pressure leading up to the game. This is something now that this young squad from Southeast of Saline has experienced. Most importantly, I think psychologically, the way that some of these younger athletes from Southeast of Saline are programmed, what they're doing right now is probably the most important thing for their motivation next year. They're watching Silver Lake get gold medals. I've always been the type of person, whether I'm coaching or watching athletics, silver is an ugly, ugly color. Gold is much prettier. You'd rather have the gold. And right now, Southeast is watching the trophy presentation with their silver medals, which is a great, great season. But we know that they're not happy with that. That's not the standard. They're watching the golds be handed out to somebody else, and that will be their motivation starting tomorrow.
And it's worth noting, this is tied for the best finish in Southeast of Saline Lady Trojan softball history. They were the runner-up back in 2003 for Southeast. It was their 19th state appearance, but they are still in search of that first state title. Final numbers from this game look like this. Silver Lake scored 4 runs on 7 hits, committed no errors. They stranded 9 runners on base, including 7 in scoring position. Southeast of Saline shut out for the first time this year. No runs on 5 hits, no errors committed. They also stranded 6 runners on base with 5 in scoring position. Riley Moeller collects the win. She moves to 23-2. That's where she'll end her year. The first loss of the season for Carly Zerflew, who's going to wrap up the campaign at a very impressive 18-1. This game took 1 hour and 55 minutes to complete. Typically, Devin, we get to the final game of the year. You taught me this years ago. It's the seniors who pick up our Vernon Jewelers gem of the game, but only one to talk about. Obviously, Southeast is going to miss Riley Donnelly, but we do want to just shine a light on her career. What a 4-year stretch it has been for Riley Donnelly, and this is a Southeast team that's going to be very excited to reload and run it back next year with essentially the same group. But Riley Donnelly is our Vernon Jewelers gem of the game, the lone senior on the year for Southeast of Saline.
Yep, got to give her all the credit. She's a great backstop, just did what she had to do. We talk about Carly Zerflew so much, but a lot of that success is also translated from the catcher, right? The catcher is the one steering the ship. The catcher is the one doing what needs to be done, controlling the game, kind of, knowing what's coming up next, helping the pitcher out on scouting reports and things of that nature. You can never underestimate a good catcher. And they are a lot like, you don't ever really talk about them sometimes. It's like a center in football, right? You don't ever mention them when they're good. You only mention them when they're bad. We didn't have to do that a whole lot this year with her.
Reese Heinrich, Kaya Samuelson, Annabelle Soul, Ashley Welch, Veda Durfee, Hannah Teal, Peyton Merrill, Carly Zerflew, Madeline McFadden. All of those girls are going to be coming back next year. And as you mentioned, they will be hungry. But for now, their season comes to a close at a still thoroughly impressive 26-2. They're your state runner-up here in 2026. That is going to wrap it up for us. We want to say a very special thank you again to all of our sponsors who made regular season, postseason coverage possible. This is our final high school broadcast of the school year. So whether you support it as a fan or as a sponsor all the way through Southeast of Saline, Sacred Heart, or our game of the week covering 11 area high schools, we want to say a very special thank you to you for all that you do in helping us bring coverage of high school sports. One last time for Brian Dennett, our producer and engineer. For Devin Haney, I've been Tyler Henry. This has been the Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Game of the Week. You caught coverage of the 3A state tournament right here on Salina Post, thanks to the good folks at Bennington State Bank and Dr. Andrew Westbrook at Maury Clinic Sports Medicine. So long for now. We'll see you next year with more great high school sports on the Salina Post Sports Network.
This has been a presentation of Eagle Media, Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine, and Salina Post Sports. This has been your Game of the Week.